The higurashi stare. Stop! How dare. Hello and welcome to all who are here. Words. Okay, today we'll be playing Fault Milestone 1. I haven't played this myself before, but I have watched a playthrough of it years and years and years ago, so I don't really remember much anymore other than really liking it. So, without further ado, there's a prologue to start. And my mouse, there we go. Yay, mouse. So let's do the prologue, so that way we're all in the know. And I did kind of skip through it when I was opening it because I wanted to check settings and stuff first. That's how it be. But yes, let's get to the prologue. There it goes. Does it hurt a lot? Asked the boy, his eyes clouded with concern. No, the girl answered softly, her gaze shifting from the night sky above the boy cradled in her arms below. You're a terrible liar, retorted the boy, his eyes focused on the blood-stained cloth wrapped tightly around her left arm. Pain was the only obvious feeling he knew she was experiencing. The binding, originally stained ruby red with the girl's blood, had discolored into an intense, piercing shade of black. Without proper treatment, the girl could die from massive blood loss. You always came here to watch the stars, right? Asked the boy, relieved to have a moment to converse with the girl. Maybe she'll share a secret or two, the boy hoped. With that faint hope in mind, the boy asked another question. Do you think you could tell me what you think about when you look at the stars? The boy asked in anticipation, like a child longing to hear his mother tell him a bedtime story. I wasn't looking at the stars, she answered. The girl was no older than the boy himself, yet the words carried such weight unheard of from one so young. Upon hearing these words, the boy felt an emotion unknown to him begin to take root within his heart. Is it attachment to this girl? Could it be envy? Or was this emotion perhaps an illusion as he lay dying in her arms? The boy had no longer had the time to affirm his own predicament. Then what are you looking up there for? Asked the boy, forcing himself to speak through the excruciating pain he experienced. A possibility. A possibility? Repeated the boy. A possibility for all of us to realize how powerless we really are. What I look for amongst those stars is a possibility for compassion, uttered the girl, as large tears began to swell and drop from her eyes. As her reign of sorrow continued, she caressed the boy as a mother would her own child, and prayed aloud. This world doesn't end at the borders of this country. What lies beyond are countless possibilities that none of us may fully fathom. The girl continued to speak as the boy neared death's door with every breath he took. People need to encounter something much bigger than themselves to fully understand. True compassion. This world will understand someday. Well, can't say I was expecting a character death in the prologue. How fun. In time of yore, humankind had discovered mana, a naturally occurring energy source that long pulsed through the crust of the world. Yeah, I did read that. Humankind utilized mana from land to craft and create any and all. The art of manifesting mana was known as manacraft, and practitioners of this art became known as manacrafters. A hunter could use pyrocraft to kill and cook their catch or quarry. An apothecary could use aquacraft to increase the potency of their healing potions. A carpenter could use terracraft to strengthen the foundation of a home. A farmer could use aerocraft to improve crop output by manipulating the wind. There also existed monocraft which were hereditary, unique only to certain individuals. The Path Down. The Path Down uses mana as a medium to transfer the memories and experience of the present ruler to the future heir to the throne. Humankind would deem those in possession of hereditary monocraft to be monarchs. The propagation of the old king's wisdom through Path Down was evidence enough to cement a country's reputation as a formidable monocraft monarchy. Centuries ago, hell-bent on expanding their sphere of influence, the monocraft monarchies started the period of exploration. Even the Great Seas were no match for their ambitions. The research of monocraft for large-scale warfare exploded, fueled by the need for conquest. The populace's survival drove one monarchy to expansion, stagnant economy the reason for another. Ambition drew many others. For the few monocraft monarchies that successfully survived, a countless number of lives were sacrificed to maintain power. In the present day, the development of mono-facilitated communication revolutionized an already altered world. This form of communication was known as comcraft. People were no longer restricted by the pace of couriers to carry written messages. Long-distance communication became accessible to the masses. Education and knowledge became abundant. Secularism grew in popularity among the general public. Enlightenment was abundant in this new era ushered forth by comcraft. Oh dear. Rogzenheid, renowned pacifist kingdom of Sana Ajizda, further prevailed from comcraft's convenience. For 9 generations, Rogzenheid prospered from perpetual pacifism, but even the wisdom of the old kings could not prevent tragedy in befalling this kingdom of peace and order. Tragedy, which would ultimately end peace that was established over 60 years ago. There it is. The names got really hard suddenly. Yeah. I expect more struggles. Welcome into Rogzenheid. Man, if only I was better at German, this would probably be a lot easier. Rogzenheid Castle. Passageway to Sky Terrace. Sparks continued to dance through the air as a small silhouette ascended the spiral staircase. Girl. First, to the Sky Terrace. The first of the attackers to reach the Sky Terrace on the roof of the castle was a young girl, no more than 12 or 13 years of age. She quickly scans her surroundings and gets into a defensive pose. Holding her breath, she surveys the area for a while. According to her prior intelligence, the Sky Terrace was completely deserted. Except for one. Path down success for the country of Rogzenheid, Cellophane Rogzenheid. Show yourself. You know there's nowhere for you to hide now. The girl's shout reverberated throughout the empty terrace. There was no one around, but she maintained her guard. These were the actions of someone who's done in a countless number of times. She moved towards the center of the Sky Terrace with a mechanical efficiency, which betrayed her small and delicate appearance. Is there really no one here? Maybe the intel was wrong. Sion, can you hear me? Sion, if you can hear me, respond. Is she in the middle of a fight? No one's here. The girl lets her guard down and takes a deep, long breath. Further on the terrace was a balcony that also functioned as a viewing deck of sorts. It was designed to overlook the town around the castle, and there was a large wooden dining table situated in the middle of it. The table was furnished with an ornately woven tablecloth. It was surrounded with heavy, solid wooden chairs, and atop it were numerous intricately made ornaments. The table and all its amenities were works of art. Every object from the dining table to the decorations strategically placed throughout the sky terrace screamed of wealth. Something crosses the girl's mind, and she sets the chair at the head of the table upright and sets her small frame onto it. For a moment, she's taken aback by it all. It was truly the height of luxury. The view she had from the head of the table, having grown up in meager circumstances, was impressive beyond her imagination. Hehe. Slam. In display of terrible manners, she rests both her feet on the table and reclines against the chair, slowly closing her eyes. She couldn't help but laugh at the disparity between the situation and the place where she had grown up. Whose seat was this? Under what lucky star would you have to be born under to be granted the privilege to seat yourself on a chair like this? Well, not that it mattered. This chair was now no one's, just like how this crumbling castle was to be no one's as well. I'm sure it'd feel wonderful if I could have a meal on a table like this. From the balcony created to look upon the town below, the girl gazes at the townscape set ablaze. The perfect view. Just perfect. Ha. This is just stupid. After her rather mindless soliloquy, she gets up off her seat, then... Ah. Another girl appeared from the door that she had broken through just earlier. Miss Maréchal. The girl addressed as Maréchal waved her hand in a yo pose, as if she was joking. Coco, you like chair? Sitting? The same girl posed a question to her partner in rather broken speech. No, not really. As always, she doesn't have a shred of tension in her. So Coco thought, keeping to herself. Maréchal. In terms of age, she and Coco were not far apart. In contrast to Coco's rather belligerent look, she looked to be a sweet little girl who had no place in a miserable battlefield like this. However, a great many have been deceived by her innocent looks. Their blood that now stained her dress clearly stood out. I'm surprised you can just waltz around like that with all this going on. An imaginary question mark appears atop Maréchal. She didn't understand why Coco was so astonished. No reason to rush. Of course you'd rush. Just walking around with all this going on is weird. The castle was filled with the smell of blood and smoke. Screams and explosions continued to roar throughout. Despite the cacophony going on all around them, Maréchal simply stood there, oblivious to it all. Already almost done. No point running. Well, that is true, but... Coco was at a loss for words when faced with that simple retort. She not here? No, she's not. Ugh. Can we even rely on Sion's info? Sion, reliable. Even if wrong, we follow. Sister's borders. You mean orders. Orders. Unflinching. Rather than communicating with words, she struck the same hand-waving pose from earlier. Marie is so precious. Yes. That was one of Maréchal's way of expressing herself. Still, if they aren't here, where could they be? I'm pretty sure we've searched everywhere. Plan B. A manual search? Ugh, what a pain. The sheer size of this place makes my head spin. Heh heh. Funny face. Oh, leave me alone. Fine, plan B then. Let's stick to the plan and take one wing each. I'll be on the east wing. Nod. What's wrong? You look... yes? Won't Isabel's Ados soldiers? I'll be fine. There's only 150 of them. We've already taken most of the rear line soldiers, so I doubt we'll run into anyone troublesome. What is it? Overconfidence. Your weakness. Her voice was soft, but her words carried weight. Everything going too well. Won't forget that. I won't. Coco unconsciously stands at attention. Nothing's wrong, and being careful. That's all. That was scary. She suddenly flips into serious mode and all. Other people probably wouldn't understand the sudden change in Maréchal's attitude. Putting thoughts and emotions into words is a weak point of hers. Logical, seeing that she only recently began remembering her vocabulary. However, even though her vocabulary is lacking, she's in no way unintelligent or unable to grasp the situation at hand. Coco, being her partner, understood this very well. Hello, Coco, can you hear me? Ah, Sion. Yeah, I hear you. How's it going there? You done fighting? The third floor downwards has all been committed. As long as people don't suddenly start raining down from the sky, no one else should be able to get into the castle. Oh, and get a load of this. Really, the last two guys I just killed, they were such pushovers, it kinda ruined the moment. Like, I'd get more of a thrill from dreaming in an afternoon nap. Coming from someone who personally said she'd just keep guard, can't really complain if you didn't volunteer to head up to the front lines instead. So, how are things going on your end? Ignoring me, yeah. Oh right, this place is totally empty. You got some explaining to do here. You're right, you sure the princess is in the Sky Terrace? Absolutely. If she isn't around the balcony, then she's gotta be somewhere on the top floor. Look harder, why don't you? Looking around is a huge pain, it's so tiring. You sure are lazy for someone so young. I don't want to hear that from someone who volunteered to shore up our defense. Okay. Oh, quit complaining and just get to looking. We're already on the home stretch. Get off my back. Really, though, this whole thing sure was a breeze, eh? Rugzan hides the center of the Alliance and all. Is it supposed to fall this quickly, this easily? Well, Miss Milano's planned it out this much. She's even taking part in it, too. Well, let's be honest here. It's probably mostly because of the latter than anything else. What you mean? We all could have gotten this far without the help of the Shadow Soldiers? No, that's not what I mean. Considering Miss Milano, I bet she could probably take down an entire country or two. If I had to describe her with a single word, it'd be cheater. You've got a point. Anyways, I'll get back to committing the entire castle's interior. Good luck with the search. Yeah, see you. Between Miss Marichal and Sion, why isn't there anyone who's feeling any more tense than I am? And now I've totally lost my drive too. Damn it. Just as she finishes call. Meow. What? Huh? Coco's staff was made from metal alloy. It was made to prioritize lightness, but metal's still metal. A swing from any old sword would certainly nick it, but there was no way it could slice through so cleanly. What was that? There's something stuck to the wall. A transparent knife? A blade of ice? Or perhaps some kind of illusion using craft. In any case, it doesn't change the fact that there was some kind of unknown threat. Who goes there? Show yourself. Up from the darkness emerged yet another girl. One of their retainers, perhaps. She was wearing a formal-looking outfit, with her entire body wrapped in a purple cloak. However, what first caught Coco's attention was the badge shining brightly on her collar. That badge served as proof of the individual's rank as a crafter. Duel. The title of Duel Crafter is only granted to those who have mastered 2 of the 4 types of mana, Pyro, Aqua, Terra, and Arrow. But the girl standing before Coco could not have been more than 20 years of age. She was likely in her late teens. To become a Duel Crafter at 19 years of age was quite a remarkable feat. Ritona Rainvast. Okay. She's the last descendant of the Rainvast family, which had served as the royal family's guardians for generations upon generation. But Coco had no way of knowing that. Where'd you come from? What is your objective? Why are you going after Princess Selphine? Huh? Let's just get one thing straight here. This attack of ours is completely in our control. Whether you all live or die, that's up to us to decide. Do you understand? The only thing you can do is stare back at us and answer every question we've got. Oh, well, if you want to die, then that's another story. Very well. Right. Seeing as how you're dressed, that means you're one of the servants here, right? You happen to know where Selphine is? And what if I do? Serious? Alright, I'll cut you a deal. You tell me where she is and I won't kill you. I see. And if I say no? Oh, well, if you don't tell me, then I'll kill you. I suppose that doesn't... But I suppose that makes things nice and simple, doesn't it? So that's what you're getting at. You've been trying to make a fool of me this entire time, haven't you? Right now, with the way things are going, are you just so scared that you've completely snapped? You're getting on my nerves. Talk smack to me one more time and I'm seriously going to kill you. Princess. Huh? It's Princess Selphine, you disrespectful brat. Ritona had been trying to play cool and collected, but there's a slight rage in her eyes. I don't know what you wish to accomplish by attacking the royal family, but to address the princess of a country that way shows a complete and utter lack of respect. Such brazen behavior shows that you lack in morals as well. What? Enough talk. Have at you. You'll only steer us into conflict regardless. So let me teach you rules of my own. Didn't you hear a single word I said? What, you want to fight me at a time like this? Or what, just because you're a duel, you think you can take anyone on? Are you an idiot? Do you have absolutely no common sense at all? A title like that doesn't mean squat outside of the alliance. En garde. Whoa. No, is that... glass? A glass sword? You really expect to fight me with one of those? So it is. What of it? You're nothing but a glass worker, an artisan crafter. You seriously think you could put up a fight with me? Enough, you little brat. You're nothing but talk. I swear, you called me a little brat again and again. Stop treating me like a kid or you're gonna get what's coming to ya. Why isn't she attacking? Is she stalling for time? Hell if I know who you are, but I don't have the time to deal with the likes of some stupid artisan crafter. Clack, clack. As Coco continued to scream at the top of her voice, she knocked the tip of her staff against the ground, causing a triangle just large enough for a human to appear just beneath Ritona's feet. What? A ranged attack? So she's not a battle crafter. I'll kill you with a single hit. Die! Triangle incineration. Bless. I feel like that was bad timing to say bless. That's fine, though. In a split second, a column of fire roars out from the triangle toward the ceiling. Too slow. Ritona circles around to Coco's rear and makes contact with Coco's back. Gah! The next moment, Coco dashes away with all her might, trying to put as much distance between her and Ritona. She quickly checks her back to assess the wound, but... Huh? It isn't cut. The sensation of her spine getting sliced in two slowly fades away. Ah. What just... Coco understood that very moment. Ritona's sword isn't some decoration or a fake weapon, but is in fact a real weapon, a strange and highly dangerous one. Transidian. That's what this sword is made out of. Transidian? It's a material said to hold the sharpest edge in the entire world. Of course I know that. But the way Transidian breaks off is too uncontrollable. They say it's too dangerous and impossible to forge into weaponry. Only if it's naturally occurring. But I've already applied some level of processing to the Transidian I create. I can really control this material. Are you stupid? If you can make something as complex as Transidian, then why don't you try to just stick to something tougher and easier like metal? Metal, glass. As long as it can cut through anything, then who cares? You're making even less sense now. Hell, why is some artisan like you even fighting with a sword in the first place? You still haven't realized? A little slow on the uptake, I see. I'm a battlecrafter. Rotona leaps off the ground. She's getting close. Need to keep my distance. Shadow soldiers! The shadow from the staff stretched, and dark silhouettes of soldiers began to call out from the ground. 3, 4 of them. Suddenly, Rotona was surrounded on all sides. What the? Shadow soldiers? She can summon them at will? So she's the one who created the shadow soldiers who attacked the castle. Careful, everyone. That girl's really fast, and her sword is super sharp. I don't get anywhere near the commit area. I can read so good. Coco then raised her staff, generating what seemed to be waves of mana in the air. The mana glowing in the air then went straight into the dark soldier's hands. Pyro, Terra, Forge, Chains! She again knocks her staff against the ground twice, causing the glowing mana that had been floating in the air to materialize into chains. First, I'm going to tie you down. Now. Now you're trapped. You and your stupid acrobatics. This is the end for you. Coco and the shadow soldiers had Rotona tied up in chains, surrounded. And then, pentagram incineration. Coco using her staff, and the soldiers using their jet black swords all slammed the ground at once. Small glowing points appeared, with light racing across them to draw a large pentagram beneath Rotona's feet. Bless! The pillar of light disperses. A triangular burn mark was on the ceiling. Beside it was a much larger star-shaped hole, with the night sky and full moon in view, shining brightly. I put her into nothing but ashes. The shadow soldiers didn't budge a single inch, leaving her perplexed. And then she realized. Just so you know. Depending on how you handle Transidian, you can even cut through steel. The shadow soldiers are vanishing, which means as long as you cut them down, then you can still defeat them. No way. Some kind of glass that lets you cut through steel. That's cheating! Something doesn't add up here. You're no battlecrafter, are you? Your triangle and pentagram attacks certainly weren't lacking in power, especially the second one. Had I taken the brunt of the blast, I'd likely be nothing more than ash by now. But the activation, your blast, takes far too long. Anything that takes that long would be completely unusable for battle, no matter how strong it is. Your style of fighting at a distance, why do you persist with such strange tactics? Oh, shut up. If it works, then who cares? Damn it. Your hand gripping her staff begins to quiver, frustrated at the turn of events. Why is someone this strong just wandering the castle? Well, in any case, I suppose you understand now that you have no chance of winning. I'm not at all disposed to fighting. If at all possible, I prefer to settle conflicts with dialogue. But, are you going to listen? The feeling of the sword slowly fades away. Huh? Coco was flabbergasted at Rotona's disappointment of a statement. Then... You're something else, you know that? Coco realizes something. That she had the upper hand. That Rotona will ultimately not attack her. She sneers at Rotona's invitation. Coco uses all her might, striking Rotona with her staff. You make a complete mess of your country, your hometown, and you want to talk? Are you a freaking moron? Indeed. This is not the time nor the place to exercise Ruzenheid's pacifist views. Rotona understood that clearly. She could more than easily have taken Coco's head if she wanted to. Even after getting to her back twice, not once did she attack. Rotona herself had resisted the urge to take her life. The overwhelming difference in their strength was absolutely meaningless in the face of Rotona's greatest weakness. You have nothing on me. When it comes to combat, I'm clearly head and shoulders above you. And here you are, still struggling desperately against me. Who's the fool now? This is seriously pissing me off. You think you're so high and mighty? You're telling the person who killed your friends, your comrades, that you just want to talk? Hey, tell me, is it so wrong to take a life if it means protecting someone you can't live without? What? Hey, answer me. What's the difference between me and you? For just a moment, Rotona was shaken for a moment by Coco's ruse and had lost concentration. She wasn't the type to make that kind of mistake. Not in the slightest. Unbelievable. Indeed, even if Rotona had no intent on taking someone's life, she would never slip and let her attention waver from the battle. Someone must have been toying with her for that moment. Someone. Someone right behind her. Commit, break her. What? The sword in Rotona's hand scatters into tiny fragments. The commit. Did the ratio in mana change all of a sudden? When? Let me introduce you. This is my partner on the battlefield, Miss Marichal. Marichal strikes her yo pose once again. Coco, make new shadow soldiers? Yes. That's why I said should dispel. New soldiers, balance is bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Why, you... What did you just do? Destroyed? Commit? Commit, breaker. Don't be absurd. The moment Rotona understands the current situation, she shudders. Coco's craft are powerful, but take a while to bless. And a partner who compensates for that. The perfect combination. She will get killed. Because she took too long. Because even when given the chance, she didn't kill Coco. Milady, please get down on the ground. Okay. On Rotona's signal, the glass wall on the edge of the room shatters. Glass which bent light and served as optical camouflage. Selphine had been hiding the entire time, and now she was exposed. Huh? Selphine! So fast. What's with the mana here? Maybe this is shift? Huh? A shift? Selphine, please close your eyes for a moment. A vortex of wind envelops Rotona and Selphine. Coco, get out, now. The next moment. What? Hey, just what? What the heck just? They vanished? Eek. Where is this place? What the? A forest? This isn't the rendezvous point. I can't believe it. We actually got out of there. Where are we? Hey, Rotona, what happened back there? Where are we? What about the castle? Everyone? I don't know. Our Comcraft mana line was cut the same time the attack began, so I haven't been able to contact the rear line soldiers since. But since they got into the castle, that means... Yes. That having been the last stages of the attack likely means... The townspeople and the soldiers might all be done for now. Oh no. So this doesn't make sense. They weren't aiming for King Vala, but specifically for Princess Selphine. They attacked us when my father was out. I can't believe this happened. They targeted Princess Selphine right during the king's absence. That's right. The fact that the king's not around is a highly guarded secret. Not even the common citizen should know he's out. And they were aiming for Princess Selphine. Does that mean... No. King Vala is already... What do we do? The Comcraft line's been cut. We need to find a way to get in contact with my father. No. What proof is there that it really happened? This is just me overthinking things. There's just far too many unknowns from that conversation earlier. The only thing I'm certain of from what their intents that the only thing I'm certain of from that was their intent to assassinate Selphine. Is it so wrong to take a life if it means protecting someone important to you? What could have she meant by that? Trying to lower my guard? No, she didn't seem like she was lying. There was that other girl, Marisha. She's definitely a crafter on a whole other level. That artist in Coco as well. That pentagram-shaped mana synergy. She was alone, so her blast took longer to execute, allowing me to respond quickly enough. But if it were the two of them working together to attack, then... In any case, I've got more pressing issues to think about now. Hey, Ratona, what should we do now? Please calm down, Princess Selphine. For now, we need to get ourselves together. Find out just where we are. Huh? What are you saying? You used your monocraft to bring us here, right? What do you mean we need to find out where we are? Ratona, please, tell me, what's going on? Just what's happening? Me. Huh? Ratona. Forgive me. Huh? Why are you apologizing, Ratona? There's no need to... Forgive me, milady. Despite the situation being as it was, I rushed into using our last resort of escape. Please, please forgive me. What? Selphine's mind went blank from Ratona's sudden barrage of apologies. Ratona had the respect of many for being incredibly capable and talented, and always kept her cool. Ever since they were children, she was the person Selphine looked up to most, next to her parents. This was the very first time in her life seeing Ratona losing her composure to this extent. Ratona. Ah! She mustn't let the princess feel uncertain. That much she knew, but the girl of glass couldn't so much as raise her head. Still in shock, Selphine pulls Ratona up, and the very same realization finally dawns upon the two girls. That this was the end of their peaceful lives, and the beginning of a harsh journey. Oh boy. The stray effect? Yeah, it's a bizarre phenomenon that suddenly moves people, animals, or things to some faraway place. Maui. You've never heard of it? Like, stories of other people suddenly becoming stranded? After calculating how long it took to rescue them later on, they ended up in places too far away to reach on foot in that amount of time. But this phenomenon, that kind of sounds like the stuff of rumors and superstition. It doesn't look like something they could intentionally cause. See, lately there's been some discoveries about that. Basically, there's a theory that says it works similar to how Comcraft works. See, Comcraft works by having a monoline and synchronization between two people. They turn what they want to communicate, words, feelings, into a certain mono wavelength and then send it through, right? So just imagine when the stuff's turned into mana and sent, except with an actual physical thing. Just how is that? Damn it, do I have to explain all that too? To put it in another way, it depends on how you convert something into mana, and how you synchronize with the receiver. If you do it right, sending things or beings isn't exactly out of the question, or something like that. Are you still with me, Coco? That's ridiculous. There's no way they could possibly be true. And just what makes you so sure? Are you serious? Because that's well and beyond what any human could possibly accomplish. Yeah, and I'm asking just what makes you think that. So what? Do you mean to say that just with the use of Monocraft, a single person could reconstruct two whole people down to the mana particle level, send themselves to some faraway place, and then reconstruct themselves without any single flaw whatsoever? I don't know why this is intensely reminding me of the whole time travel arguments from Steins Gates. Bingo, so you do get it. Are you crazy? What? Gasp. Not just what planet do you think a person who could use magic like that exists? Stop trying to make a fool of people. Like I said, I'm asking you what makes that all seem like some crazy fantasy magic. Okay, fine. Let's just assume that a single person could perfectly instantly turn 2 people into mana. You'd have to You have to be some crazy superhuman to handle that much mana and move it while keeping it stable. That's not my point. Look, just think about it for a second. Besides, you think you can handle a mana line? One that can handle all of that? Then why don't you just try? Oh, come on. Well, alright. It's not the kind of mana line that you connect between 2 people. Coco, will you just calm the heck down? You're making a whole lot of amateur assumptions here. Oh, get off my back. You're always explaining everything so roundabout. Just get to the point. Why don't you... Coco. Yes? You need to relax. Just calm down. Yeah, that's right. Calm down. Down. Ugh, sorry. Now, before you try to deny everything I say, why don't you look at the facts? Regardless of what your common sense dictates, the 2 of them really did disappear from here. Sion. Yes? Enemy used glass. Bend light. Glass, you say? Yeah, that's right. The cellophane girl was actually there the entire time. She was right in front of me, but I didn't see her at all. That's freaking cheating. Maybe possible they're nearby. Hiding. Some kind of optical camouflage. Using refracted light, eh? Didn't even know you could do that. Never heard of any technology like that, but I'm certain they're not hiding anywhere near here. Ever since you reported that self-fiend disappeared, I've been scanning the whole area. But I haven't detected any movement since. They must have escaped using some kind of craft that we don't know anything about. I see. Caught a hand to Rugs and hired. We made sure to seal him in tight before striking, and our target, the princess, still manages to escape. But... Oh jeez, are you still talking about that? Miss Milano! Just pretty. Hey, Marie, everyone. Looks like you're just about wrapping up things here. Not nice eavesdrop, sis. Oh, well, sorry about that. But you know, I've been up here this whole time, and not one of you noticed me. That's not nice either. Please forgive us. Well, it's not nice that you were watching us either. You could have called out to us or something. Yeah, but then you'd know I was there. I mean, eavesdropping is like listening in when no one knows you're there, and you're seeing if people will start talking bad about you, right? So she does admit eavesdropping. But what do I get? No one notices me, no one talks bad about me, and whatever you're talking about is boring. So I just decided to end it before it got any worse. We'd never badmouth you. Anyway, to sum it all up, the Princess of Rügenheid and her bodyguard managed to escape right under your noses. Is that right? What's this? Coco, are you shaking? I'm so sorry, Miss Milano. I had them trapped, but they did something completely unexpected. You're so cute. It's like, that's it. You're like an adorable little pet. Yeah, a cute little pet. Just like a furry little hamster. How lovely. Yes, about that. We were discussing about just what went wrong. Yep. When you make a mistake, you need to figure out why. Right, Coco? Yes, you're right. Oh my, Coco, your face is just deathly pale. Sis, I think that's enough. You're right. She looks kind of sad now, all curled up. Coco, raise your head. Yes, ma'am. I know you're strong, but you're only human. You can make mistakes. Am I wrong? Well, Don't worry. No need to be so afraid. Please. Please, for... Really, though? Being able to recreate that story effect using Monocraft, eh? Well, it's hard to believe it myself, but I'm sure your explanation is right, for the most part at least. Words cannot express my gratitude. Now, Coco, look up at me, in the eyes. I want you to answer one question for me. Yes, ma'am. There aren't any idiots among my subordinates, right? Eh? Everyone makes mistakes. We can't help it. Humans are just humans, after all. Uh, I... I... Now, Coco, an idiot is someone who makes a mistake, just like everyone else, but learns absolutely nothing from it. Worthless garbage. Now answer me, Coco. You are an idiot. Yes or no? No. Next time, I swear I'll... Even a rat can reflect on its mistakes. I won't fail you. Next time, I'll definitely... You'd better improve as if your life depended on it. Because there are no idiots in my subordinates. Understand? Maui. She's mean, but I kind of like reading as her. The mono stream covers the world in a net-like weave, and its ebb and flow are constantly changing. However, there are also parts of it which are fairly stable. In these gentler streams, artificial mana can be applied to reinforce its flow. The technology we use draws on the stray effect, allowing us to travel through these fixed mana streams. It's called long-distance travel craft. A stable mana line in fairly good condition that can support enough particles worth for both me and Selphine. It took nearly a year just looking for a line that was both stable and usable. We spent another year of breaking in the mana line so that I could send my mana through it, and then another year to be able to send one more person's worth of mana through the line. It was the first long-term project that I'd undertaken since becoming Princess Selphine's formal guardian. The mana line was supposed to connect with an emergency shelter in I have to think about this one. Vastorkat, constructed with the cooperation of both countries, but for some reason or another, the line's destination seems to have been off. Still, now that I think about it, the fact that we managed to get off with just this much is our saving grace from today's disastrous events. The mana line easily could have diverted further into the sea. If that were to have happened, we'd probably be drowning to death by now. Ritona, just how many craft do you know that I don't? Excuse me? It's just, we've always been together, but I've never seen you use something like this even once. Selphine's expression clouds over. I can't really blame her. She's seen an entirely new monocraft being used by someone you thought you knew inside and out. This monocraft is still in the middle of development. To my knowledge, it's never even been used once. I suppose it seems like I'm just making excuses for myself now, but... This isn't monocraft that should be used outside of circumstances like this. How come? This monocraft is... unilateral. Huh? Unilateral. It works only one way. Wrong word order, that's fine. Therefore, we can't go back through the same mana line we used to get here. So that means... yes. From here on, we walk. Finally, we got a fire going. Just what's with this place? The concentration of mana is abnormally low. Is it low? No, that's not quite right. It's like my senses have been dulled. I can't even perceive the mana stream around us. That's fine. I'm sure it is. As long as Princess Selphine survives. As long as the path down is preserved, then the country can be rebuilt again. I have to believe that for now. Damn it. The stray effect. I was prepared for something to have happened, but I didn't expect the crop to be this unstable. Well, no point brooding about it now. Let's wash the blood off of these tattered clothes and get some rest. I couldn't even get a single wink of sleep. For some reason, my body feels so much heavier than usual. Is it because I haven't had any sleep? It's like all my muscles have gone slack. It's a terrible feeling. Unbelievably unpleasant. Morning. Sylvan greets me with a troubled expression. Good morning. It pained me to see her long dress covered in dirt and twigs. Even though we had no other choice, I still regret having to sleep outdoors. Did you sleep well? Sylvan looked quite out of it as she shook her head. Her eyes seemed to be slightly swollen. Me neither. I was just so worried about my father and everyone in the country. Damn it. I can't help but curse my own powerlessness. We need some information. Yeah. Just who were those people who attacked us? We didn't even know something as basic as that. Why do you think they were after my life? Did they not want me to become queen or something? Putting a stop to the monarchy, eh? Who knows? We could make wild guesses one after the other, but we know too little right now. Let's prioritize getting out of this forest and ascertaining our location. And then we can think all we want later. Okay. For now, we need to focus on surviving and making it back to Rugenheid, or any of the Alliance territories. Anything else we can put on the back burner. Burner. After walking for tens of minutes, I can read. So good. We finally found the first sign that we didn't have to live off the land. It was a small trail. Rocks and other vegetation were cleared, exposing just the bare dirt. This wasn't the work of animals. There were clearly signs that it was done intentionally by human hands. A settlement must be near. I guess we go this way? It looks like it. For safety's sake, please stick close to me. Okay. As we were finally assured we were making our way back to civilization, another worry surfaces. Well, these trees don't look familiar at all. That's right. Just where is this place? The forest is full of vegetation I'd never seen before in the woods surrounding Rugenheid. And despite being in a forest, the air felt incredibly thin. If we started running here, we'd likely feel lightheaded very quickly. It's not the humidity or the heat, but it just feels like it's lacking something. I have a bad feeling about this. Selfing, milady. What? If where we are isn't an Alliance territory, then we need to prioritize acquiring sediment as soon as possible. Huh? Sediment? You mean the stones for storing mana? What for? A Comcraft line has been severed. What? Oh, you're right. Our lines to King Vala and the Knights of the Quinn Order have also been severed. I did notice last night that my line to my father wasn't working. I kept trying to call him, but nothing happened. But why are they cut? That face you're making, it's not good, is it? I can think of two reasons. One, the lines were cut as consequence of the stray effect. And the other is that we've been sent so far away that the lines ended up getting cut. The shelter is well within the coverage of the Comcraft line, so I've personally verified it. For the line to be cut, then there's really only one possible answer. In any case, we're effectively operating alone. It's certainly quite a problem that we can't contact everyone in Rugenheid. But if we were to get separated, then we would have no way of getting in touch with each other. I absolutely cannot allow that to happen. If I could, I'd re-establish a Comcroft line between us right now. I didn't mean to do that. But we don't have any sediment. Exactly. From there, another hour passed. The amount of trees diminished as we continued to make our way through the smoothed-out path, and there we saw... What? What is this place? I can't detect any signs of life, of mana. Are there actually any people living in a place like this? She was at a loss for words. The words were written on signage, the people going to and fro, the language being spoken, the architecture, technology, materials. I never once seen or heard a single thing about any one of them. This is bad. It doesn't look like any one of the Alliance territories. It doesn't look like we're on the continent of Sana Druidsda? Sane Adrizda, I don't know. All of this was far removed from the culture we were familiar with. Just heading into town will need some audacity. Princess Elphine. I suppose this much is obvious, but let's restrict all conversation to using eroratum. Eroratum. Agreed. And when asked, we should conceal our true identities. Just a precaution, let's not utter the name of Rugzenheid. Yeah. We don't even know what country we're in. Until we learn anything useful, we're nothing but a pair of travelers. Okay, got it. Alright, we need to tune the erratum first, so leave the conversation to me. Everyone's staring at us. You're right. Everyone who passes by us turns around for a second look. Seems like our clothes stand out. We should find a change of clothes after getting a sediment stone. Stay close to me. Yeah. Isn't there anyone unassuming looking enough whom we could try to talk with? There just thinking is gonna get us anywhere. You there, excuse me. I was looking for a general store. Would you be so kind as to point us in the right direction? Looks like I'll need to make some adjustments. Let's word that more simply. We're lost. Could you help us? Seems like some of it got through. I think you're a little off, Rotona. Let me. Sorry for the sudden question, but we're looking for the general store. Could you please show us the way? Oh, seems like what Selfing's saying is getting through, but now I'm the one in the dark here. We should watch your intonation for word endings. Oh, and there's different levels of politeness. After a short explanation. There's a lot of different kinds of stores here. What are you looking for exactly? Oh, I understand him now. As expected of the princess, she's exceptionally good at this. Sorry, we're just travelers passing through and we're completely lost. Does this country use any form of currency? Huh, do we use currency? Do you think there are any countries out there that still operate on a barter system? I suppose not. Blush. And I suppose that means you don't have any money. Planning to do some shopping? Something like that. So you're short on cash. How about a pawn shop instead? There's one right outside the town. The young man earnestly guided Selfie to the pawn shop he mentioned. Thank you very much. You've been so helpful. Oh, it was nothing really. As he slowly parted from us, he would occasionally sneak a glance at us. My goodness, he's like an open book. Really? It took a while before you managed to tune your eroratum to understand him. That's not what I meant. Still not very good at eroratum? Well, even without eroratum, Selfine was fluent in no less than 8 different languages. one can understand, convey, and receive thoughts from other people using Errata more quickly than more they study linguistics. If I may, King Rügen hides the third style of governance centered around the use of words as a mean of bridging countries. As a result, Errata, a form of Comcraft, was developed in accordance with his will. Of course, that sentiment was also passed down to his descendant, Princess Selphine. Please don't compare me to royalty like yourself. When it comes to skills like these, we're on completely different levels. Well, I won't deny that I have no linguistic sense either. Oh, come on. Let me brag at least this much. I've got no other talents but talking anyway. Nonsense, milady. Pat the Selphine. Yes. You're skilled in so many other things. Cooking, medical craft, archery. Oh, come on. I'm just as good with those as any typical person. It's talking about being better than average at something, like you, Ritona. Nonsense, milady. Have more confidence in yourself. Nothing good will come of putting yourself down so much. But you always do it yourself, Ritona. I'm fine, I'm nothing but an amateur. Now you're contradicting yourself. Ah, jeez. Love to be able to invoke some flashy monocraft. Knowing more words isn't exactly going to be of much use. Nonsense, milady. If you wanted to, you can converse with anyone in this world in an instant. Isn't that a wonderful skill to have? If it were just me here, then I could have taken days to tune myself to the language. Yeah. Please, do follow yourself a little higher. Princess Selphie, you'll eventually have to bear Rügenheid's weight on your shoulders as the nation's queen. These two, yeah. Only fools would judge someone based on how flashy or how amazing they look. So please, stop. Please don't make me utter things that only a conservative member of the cabinet would say. Yeah, Ritona? You're way too young for old lady talk. Hey, Ritona, wait, I was just joking. This is the place. Having followed the young man's directions dutifully, we arrived at an old pawn shop outside the city. It seems this country still uses money. Judging by how the man spoke, it seems the society still operates on currency. It dawns on me just how advanced Rügenheit has become. It seems we'll have to abandon our preconceptions from Rügenheit while we're in this country. Yeah. Is there something wrong? No, it's the first time I've ever seen or held money before, so I'm kind of excited. Oh, such materialistic things. Besides, Rügenheit has sane notes that we used for foreign trade, right? But I've never used them once. Just heard about them in stories and all. Well, she has a point. Money is the embodiment of the devil, and twist your heart and mind, right? They say just touching money would allow Skeekwil, the demon of avarice, to steal your soul. What kind of cursed item are people making it out to be? It sounds really interesting. I'm so excited. Selphine is a young girl, brimming with curiosity and holding an interest in many things, without concern for their actual nature. Noted. It said that it would once be the lifeblood of any country, you know? Love for money is not universal. Probably. Whatever the case, as long as we retain our senses as people of Rügenheit, we shouldn't have anything to worry about. Well, that's also just a guess. Yeah, I just wanted to say it is all. The real problem would be the gap between our differences in values. Hopefully we have something on us that holds worth for them. Perhaps a precious metal? Alright, let's go in. This is some real platinum, ain't it? And it's real well made. Never seen manufacturing on this level before. He seems to be pretty excited with the Guardian's knife that came with my formal wear. The owner seems to be genuinely surprised. Looks like the people of this country have the same sense of value as we do when it comes to precious metals. You plan on selling this, or you want a pawn? I'd like to sell. I've used this for years and years. It's got a lot of sentimental value to me. I'd like to sell it at a good price. Oh, Ritana sure is a smooth talker. It's just a knife for show. This an antique, you mean? Looks pretty dang new. No patina on it yet. It was given to me when I was 15, so I've been using it for 4 years now. 4 years? That goes by as fast as a fart for an old man like me. That ain't years and years like you said. Does this mean I can expect an even higher price for it then? Well, I suppose. With something of this quality, I'll be offering a pretty fair price for it. Oh. Let's see. How's 500 gallows? I see. Something up? Huh? Is something up? Something is definitely up. 4 years may be nothing but a fleeting moment for you, but they were such a huge part of my youth. This knife has been with me all that time, in both happy times and sad. I wasn't lying when I said it had a lot of sentimental value to me. Don't you understand? What does the knife have to do with her youth, I wonder? What does the knife have to do with her youth? Gah. Alright, fine. 600 gallows. I see how it is. You don't put any value on the adolescence of a young girl, clearly. Now, if you'll excuse us, I suppose we'll try another shot. What? Hey, fine. 630 gallows. I'll give you 360 gallows. Sorry, but that's my last price. Take it or leave it. Very well. I won't forget this good deal, sir. Jeez, you're really throwing me off here, missy. It's Ratona's evil grin. I haven't seen that in a long time. Phew. That was amazing, Ratona. Do you know how much a gallow was worth? Of course not. How could I possibly know that? Huh? But... I was just slowly raising the price and felt that was the right time to take it. I think if I pushed even harder, I could get him to go just a little higher. It's the devil. Skeet Quell in disguise. How rude. Well then, should we head off? Huh? Ratona, what about the sediment? Oh. Sorry, I forgot about that. Is that money going to be enough? Now, don't be silly. Sediment is nothing but mere pebbles when compared to a knife made out of platinum. Excuse me, we almost forgot, but we're looking for something. What do you need? Are you selling sediment for use in Monocroft? And at that moment... Sediment, you say? The owner's expression changes instantly. What's wrong? Should I keep going? Class 3. No, even Class 4 stones should be enough for our needs. His glaring daggers at me. Suddenly it feels like he's taken charge of the whole conversation. And then... He then scoffs at us. What's going on? I've been thinking about it since you came here, but you ain't from here, are you? Judging by these clothes. You traders? In a sense. I still haven't heard your answer. If you don't have any sediment, then can you introduce us to some stores that do carry it? I thought it was weird. If you're here to trade, then you should have passed by a town or two on your way here. Or what? You came here fully aware of what this place is like? You want to make a fool out of me by asking that? Is that it? Excuse me? Oh, don't tell me. You want me to spell it out for you? I mean, it's not just downright harassment, you know? What are you talking about? You know real well that a little shop like this couldn't possibly afford to deal with something so precious as sediment. What? Huh? But precious? Did some other shop send you here just to cause a ruckus? Sorry, but I got enough trouble to deal with on my plate. Just do me a favor and get out. Oh dear. Wait a minute. Sediment? Precious? What do you mean? It's just class 4 sediment. Those are good for nothing but serving as little children's toys, right? Wait, don't tell me. So that's it. You two ain't from here. You're outsiders. Out? I heard about people like you. I see. So where you grew up, just class 4 sediment is practically just a plaything for little runts, eh? Outsiders. Excuse me for asking a foolish question, but is this place the outer pole? Are you two really traders? Sure, wander around all you want, but you better look up the places you're headed to, or you're gonna run into some trouble sooner or later. We have our reasons, though I can't get into the details. But I promise you, we're not here to cause any trouble. Please, just answer me. Ugh, just not gonna let me go, are ya? Yeah, that's right. This place is Kadia City, located in the third sector, south-southwest from the second pole center. It's the largest outer pole region in the world. Pretty famous seeing as the entire island's part of the outer pole. Seriously, you don't even know that? Where do you two even come from? The second pole? This is the other side of the world. Thank you for the information. Let's go, milady. Okay. Now hold on there. Little Missy over there said she needs sediment for communicating, I suppose. Now that I'm not sure what you mean by communicating, but are you two monocrofters or something? Sorry, but I can't answer that. Heh, fine then. So pretend I'm talking to myself then. Now see, this here is the outer pole. This place has been forsaken by those gods Samana that you two worship or whatever. There aren't no monocrofters around here. Concentration of natural found mana is real low, so of course our culture here don't work with monocroft. We don't live like the other 70-80% of the other folk do have it. We ain't blessed with the land here, but that's exactly why we've gone and come up with power that anyone can use. Science. Even if the lands here barely got any mana, we use the power of science to squeeze out every little bit we can get. You get what I'm trying to say here? More or less the gist of it. Mana's part of living on this world. It's inside every one of us. You could say it's the source of all life. It has people in the outer pole ain't no different. Except, unlike you outsiders, we can't just pull out the mana that we got inside of us. Monocrofter trafficking and slave trade. Ha! That's right. Here in the outer pole, there ain't nothing more precious than purified mana. Especially humans' purified mana. Now that's why sediment stones are more valuable than precious metals, because they can store that mana. God, that was a struggle. Monocrofters can fill that sediment with purified mana. Just imagine a golden goose like that, walking all around town. I think y'all can get where I'm getting with this. That... Accidentally... Oh. Yeah, I think you can tell where I'm going with this. They'll be kidnapped in an instant to spend the rest of their lives in a dark sweatshop, forced to fill up sediment with mana. Watch yourself. Even if you are monocrafters, there ain't no short of people who don't take so kindly to outside folk like yourself. At the least, don't go mouthing off things like, just ask for sediment. That's just begging for a fight. Us people here in the outer pole, we're all just scrapping by, trying to make the most of the tiny bit of mana we got here. Thank you for your word of caution. Outsiders? I think I will do a quick little save here, just in case. Good grief. I can't believe this is happening. You put in so much effort just to stabilize that mana stream. Why has all this happened? What's the matter, milady? I just feel so disgusted at myself. What brought this on all of a sudden? I heard stories about them, about people who suffer because there isn't enough mana. My father told me those stories, like they were worlds away from us. When I heard about them, none of it felt real to me, and I didn't know what to think of it. But after hearing the shop owner tell us all this, all I thought was, good thing I wasn't born in a place like this. How do I put it? I wasn't thinking about how to solve the problem or how to lend a hand to them. The very first thing I thought of was myself. The fact that all I'm thinking of is myself. I know absolutely nothing about this world, and I'm the princess of an entire country? It's ridiculous. As humans, we're insensitive to suffering and misfortune that we ourselves have not experienced. And besides, in our current state, we don't have the luxury of extending a helping hand to anyone, even if they were right here beside us. I don't think you should burden yourself with too much thought. With the thought too much. I know, but I just can't shake this feeling of self-loathing. Say, Rotona. Yes? The world isn't so small, after all. Indeed. I, too, felt the same way. Excuse me? What? Oh, no, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to surprise you. Ah, I messed up. What a scare. What in the... I can't sense her presence at all. Sorry if this is sudden, but would you two happen to be from an outside country? Well, we... Oh no, they're looking at me really suspiciously right now. That's right, where are my manners? My name is... Is... Rune. Sorry for surprising you like that. As an apology, please let me show you around town. Rune? Rune? No. No, sorry, I stuttered. It's just Rune. Oh, I know, I'm just teasing. Teasing someone with such an old-fashioned joke. Trust me, I'm not anyone suspicious, really. You couldn't find anyone plainer and normaler. I'm like one of those extras in crowds and, what's up with this girl? Thanks, but no thanks. You clearly have some hidden agenda. What are you really after? I'm not after a single thing. I'm not going after you or anything at all, really. Just what the heck am I saying? Oh. Well, okay. Me not having a single ulterior motive might be just a little bit of a lie. I suppose I'm just making myself look even more suspicious, huh? Then you basically confessed to having an ulterior motive. I do, but it's nothing bad at all. Just that I was going to guide you around town and slowly get you to open up to me. Then I gently try to get some stories about the outside. Or something. Really totally harmless plot. Is that it? There's daring daggers all over me. Just so you know, I'm not normally this awkward, really. So, if you could please stop staring at me so piteously, we can end this without my self-esteem taking a huge hit. I'd really appreciate that, huh? Could you give us one moment? Sure. Maybe we should take her up on her offer, Rotona. She doesn't look like a bad person. She certainly doesn't seem like she has any malicious intents, but... That's not the only thing I can't sense. I can't even sense any life from her. What do you propose, milady? Fidget. If she's just showing us around town, why not? There's some other stuff we need to get to. Understood. Let's see how it goes. If she starts getting too suspicious, we should depart from her as soon as possible. What if she asks for our names? Let's not use any pseudonyms to make sure that we don't end up being unable to respond when called. As long as we don't reveal our family names, it should be alright. Got it. Have you, made your decision? Yeah, Rune, was it? Yes, but, you could please not say it out loud? It's a little embarrassing. Maybe, I guess. Would you like us to call you differently, then? Oh, let's just go with Rune. Alright, nice to meet you, Rune. Please. Enough of that joke. Okay, let's get the tour started. Sure thing. Just ask me anything. Anything you'd like to. Wow, what a lovely smile. I wonder how old she is. Cute. Oh, your name's Selphine? What a wonderful name. Why, thank you. I really like the name myself, so feel free to call me that. People from other countries have such marvelous names. Could I have your name? It's Ratona. Sorry for staring you down so much earlier. I do apologize. No, not at all. There's no need to apologize to someone like me. Ooh, wow. Now that I have a better look at her, she's really pretty too. Did the audio freak out? Yeah, it did. God damn. What is it? Nothing, just admiring how beautiful you two are. Wait, what the heck am I even mouthing off about now? Thank you. But you know, Rune, you're far prettier than I am, really. Huh? No way, you may say that, but you're way more beautiful than I could be, Selphine. Really? That's not true at all now, is it, Ratona? I prefer that you not put me on the spot and make me choose between only yes and no. By the way, sorry to spring this on you so suddenly, but we're in need of a few things. Ah, yes, you weren't able to find what you wanted at the pawn shop earlier, right? The pawn shop? Rune, don't tell me you were there. Yes, I, happened to overhear. Sorry, I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but there weren't any other customers, so I ended up hearing it all. She really does have no sense of life in her. This isn't exactly a good way to put it, but she's like a talking corpse. So, what exactly are you looking for? Right. We need to make preparations for a long journey back home. A map, some water, rations, a number of other things. Wow, you sure sound like travelers already. Alright then, I know quite a lot of great shops, so I'll do my best and show you around. Huh? Hey, wait, we need some sediment and clothes first. Hey, Ratona, hurry up, we're gonna go without you. How'd they... We sure got quite a lot, didn't we, Ratona? We kept well within our budget. We still have over 300 gallo left. You know, actually, the townspeople here do me a lot of favors and stuff. So if there's anything else you need, feel free to let me know. You aren't pressed for time or anything, Rune? Oh, not at all. Today's my day off, so I'll be with you every step of the way. I'm the one who proposed the idea anyway. Please, don't hold back. What now, Ratona? We've just gotten about everything we need, right? No, we're missing some things. Huh? Have you forgotten our original plan? Oh. Sediment and clothes. Right. Well, whatever. Rune. Yes? Are there any stores here that handle sediment? Sediment, you say? After having heard from the pawn shop owner, I think I have a fairly clear idea about how this whole area is like. Well, I do know a place that has them, but when it comes to something as precious as sediment, I don't think I can get you any VIP discounts. I'd probably set you back quite a lot. Not an issue, just having just showing us the way would be more than enough. She's right, you've already helped us out so much, we'd feel bad asking for even more from you. Is that so? Alright then. Well then, I guess I'll just help out a little bit. Please follow me. Question mark, question mark. Welcome. Oh my. Oh my, oh my. A trio of lovely ladies today. What a surprise. Hello. Good day to you. What may I do for you today? Is the manager here? The manager, you say? Sorry, but I need to know what your business here is. Oh, well, you know. Rune approached the salesperson and whispered in his ear, and suddenly... Mr. Zweist? No. Zevitz? I'm so sorry, I'll be right back. The salesperson's face turned pale and dashed into the back of the store. Forgive me for the delay. Even if that clerk didn't know any better, I apologize for his rudeness. No, he wasn't rude at all. Mr. Weitz, my goodness, he should have contacted us earlier, that we could have prepared to welcome... Wait, aren't you... The manager inspects every detail on Rune's face. Oh, no, I am here for a specific reason. A specific reason? Like a surprise inspection? The manager suddenly goes off on a tangent just by Rune mentioning a specific reason, but she quickly corrects him. No, I'm not here for that, not at all. Just what is with this conversation? I see now, so it's for your companions. We didn't mean to raise a ruckus here. I apologize if we caused you any trouble. Oh no, not at all. Any friend of Sir Veit's is as good as a business partner of ours. Business partner? Oh, Rutona, you wanted some class 4, right? Ah, yes, you're looking for sediment then. The class 4 sediment is somewhere in the storage. Please give me a moment. They have been fairly priced based on the current market value as well. Hey you, get the sediment. Have the guards open storage A. Understood. Well, ladies, instead of standing around here, why don't we head on inside to the VIP lounge? VIP lounge? Please, feel free to. Just pretend you're doing me a favor and letting me serve you to the fullest. This sure turned into a pretty big deal, huh, Rotona? Yeah. I apologize for the long delay. Here were the cuts of Class 4 that you requested. I've also brought cuts of Class 3 to 1 as well. Please, take your time. Thank you. Such beautifully crafted cases. I'm sure the contents are even more valuable. Let's see about that. This is terrible. All the sediment looks like nothing but plain old rock. Sediment can be divided into two general categories. One kind has slowly absorbed the matter present in the ground over a long period of time. Natural sediment. It's practically just rock that's absorbed a mixture of all 5 kinds of mana: pyro, aqua, terra, aero, and void. The other kind is natural sediment, which has undergone a treatment process, allowing it to be filled with mana. These used in mana craft are referred to as crafter sediment. When referring to sediment, it's usually the latter. Once filled with mana, crafter sediment is ranked according to how much of the mana stored inside remains unchanged. For a low quality cut, such as class 3 or 4, mana put into the stone will change into another kind regardless of how pure it originally was. This is referred to as impurification. For example, even after filling a stone with 100% aqua mana, it might turn into an 80 to 20% mix of aqua and terra. Being exposed for a long time to the same type of mana will end up leaving it slightly aligned towards that type of mana. This makes achieving the required ratios for crafts harder, and no amount of processing will help, which is why the cost is lower. Hence, it's common practice that class 1 sediment is filled only with 100% purified mana when it's sold. Purified mana, not having any attribute, is the easiest to impurify. To prove that a cut of sediment is of a high level purity, filling it with purified mana is the fastest way to go about it. The sediment that the store managers refer to as Class 1 had some slight impurities in it. This normally would never be classified as Class 1. Probably closer to Class 2. Well, even putting all of that pretentious monologue aside. Not the best way to put it, but seeing the strange juxtaposition of exquisitely made cases like these stuffed with sediment with quality this poor, it's laughable. It's like stuffing a gold case full of a pile of acorns that some child picked off the ground. This one's the only one worth anything seems to be this class 3 cut. This appears to be the one most true to the given class. You have a keen eye for quality, miss. I would expect nothing less from an acquaintance of Mr. Veit's. Still, the commits on this cut are also strange. Just how did they process it for become like this? Sediment is processed in such a way that when filled with mana, the mana can be retained without seeping out. This process is referred to as a commit. The way it's tied off, so to speak, shows you the kind of character of whoever did the processing. Wow, that's amazing, Rotona. You can tell just by looking? Well, yes, to some extent. What's the price for this class 3? Oh, yes, here are our rates. Excuse me? That's a lot. This is on a totally different level. Huh? Really? I think the prices are pretty normal, though. I do believe these prices reflect the current market value. Now I see what the owner of the pawn shop meant. With prices like these, there's no way any normal shop could deal with this product. This class 2 here. What is with this strange commit? In the class 3 and this class 4, all their commits are just... Is there something wrong, ma'am? No, well, it seems like the same person formed the commits, but the way they're done is just... How should I explain it? It's complicated, I suppose. It's needlessly complex. Normally you wouldn't seal them up like this. You need to remove the commit in order to use them, so common practice is to tie them off as simply as possible. Exceptions do exist which are intentionally made complicated and difficult to use, however. Oh my, such an amazing insight. I'm truly in awe. Is something the matter? Those are prototypes formed by the latest compressor on the market. Their selling point is that their mono compression rate is double that of the previous models. But the commit ended up being incredibly complex. The seal being so complicated to remove makes it more difficult to operate. We have taken that into consideration and lowered the prices accordingly. However, these sediments will not be used for monocraft anyway. Most of our customers have mentioned that that aspect does not need to be recreated so faithfully. Unless you mean to say you don't plan on simply admiring these, but you intend to use them. No, What's the matter? What exactly is a compressor? Huh? Well, it's a device that extracts mana from the mana stream and compresses it into sediment. A device? Do you mean say these commits were created by a machine? Well, yes. And what about it? So these sediments were not filled by actual humans? Ritona. Oh my. Oh, Ritona, that was a good one. Oh. What a provocative joke. Your delivery was just so realistic that I was completely taken aback. Real imported sediment for crafters' use is just far too great in value. And besides, in this day and age, you have all these rumors here and there. You're totally right on the money. Quite the avant-garde joke for a friend of the good sir, dear me. Good sir. Oh no! What? Yeep. Sorry, but we have to get going. What seems to be the matter? I'm so sorry, but I remembered we have an urgent errand to run. Anyway, if you'll excuse us. Hey, wait! What was that all of a sudden? What a scare. This is the second time today. Sorry, but the manager is pretty perceptive. Perceptive? Oh, it's nothing. Just talking to myself, please. Don't mind what I said at all. In any case, Renee, there must have been a better way to change the topic of the conversation. Well, yeah, but I'm just not really good when it comes to that kind of stuff. You're the type of person who can't tell a lie. You're a real enigma, you know that? Enigmatic? I sure hope you didn't mean enigmatic in a bad way. But really, that sediment was just far too expensive. And how could we possibly buy some now? I apologize for that. I should have asked about your budget beforehand. Oh, no, sorry, I didn't mean it that way. There's nothing you need to apologize for at all. She's right, we're the ones imposing on you. But honestly, if that's expensive for you, then I don't think you'll be able to get any sediment anywhere in town. When he said he studied the market for the prices, he was pretty right on the money. Is that so? This is a problem. I hope Selphine and I don't end up separated then. Anyway, putting that aside, Rune, do you mind if I ask you something? Yes. Wherever we go, everyone seems to know who you are. Are you some kind of celebrity in town or something? Huh? I noticed that too. That salesperson and manager immediately treated us differently after seeing you and hearing who you are. Are you from a well-to-do household here? Oh, no, not at all. Well, it's just that the work I do is a little special. Rather, it's not something I like to talk about, and it's a pretty unique way of making a living in this place. Special work that you'd rather not talk about with others. So I'm guessing you're a prostitute? Selfine. No, not even close. Heck, how did you even come to that conclusion in the first place? Huh? Well, it was just the first thing that came to mind. Ah, ahem. Hey, Rotona, are you okay? I'm choking on my own saliva. Good grief, the way you managed to make the connection just because the word unique makes you even more unique. Well, in any case, the sun's about to set. Oh, that's right, you wanted to hear about how it's like outside, didn't you? What, milady? Huh? Oh, but we still haven't finished all of your shopping. Once we get the last thing on the list, clothes, then we should go have some dinner. If you don't mind, then we can have it together. And I'll tell you all sorts of stories over that. Hey, you don't mind, do you, Rotona? Huh? No, I don't. Ugh. Are you serious? Really? I wouldn't want to intrude or anything. Of course, Sue, you aren't. It was a promise between us friends, right? Huh? Come on, Rotona, let's go. Huh? Okay. Friends? Uh, there's a signboard hung up at the front of the theater. It reads, Glücksspiel Apparel, glad to be closed. They're glad to be closed, it seems. So they are. The sign sure gets on my nerves. So, it's a little too early to be closing up shop, isn't it? I'm sorry, we should have come here earlier. The stares from everyone around us as we were shopping were becoming too difficult to bear. We simply just stand out too much. There isn't a single person in town wearing a cloak. A black cloak is a necessity for a monocrafter, and is generally part of the most formal wear outfits. Furthermore, what I'm wearing now identifies me as a rural guardian, the most formal of such outfits. Selfine is wearing a peach-colored dress. It really sticks out. That I would not describe her dress as peach, but certainly what a princess would dress with. I should be alright for another night. Once we get into an inn, I could just scrub the clothes clean. Laundry is one thing, but I'd really like to take a nice hot bath. We did sleep outdoors last night after all. What should we do? Should we head into the inn first? No, there should be a lot of places to eat just nearby, right? It'll be a hassle to head back here anyway, so let's just have some food first. Yay! Yay, so she says. You sure are excited, Selfie. I'm so excited to try another country's cuisine. I was about to ask if she'd forgotten that we were swept away from our own country, but I restrained myself. We can just forget about everything that's happened, just for now. Why not? She'll end up remembering it all as we go to sleep anyway. About losing Hyde and her people. Had it just been Selfie and me today, I'm sure she wouldn't have been this bright and cheerful. I'm glad that Renee accompanied us today. Renee, your gelato looks delicious. Huh? Oh, it's very tasty. It's, cold and, red. What does the color have to do with the flavor? Now, you two, why are you spoiling your appetites just before dinner? On the way, the two were enjoying ice cream they purchased from a vendor who had a frozen treat stand. To be specific, Selfine's was milk-flavored, and Renee's was strawberry. 'Cause we're hungry. I suppose that's true. At least she has an appetite. Well then, I guess we should have some dinner. Yeah, I'm super hungry. Alright then, where would you like to eat? I want to eat something nice and hot. Something hot? If that's the case. Yune? She's a real mystery. We only just met, but I can't help but feel totally relaxed around her. A person this free of malice is certainly a rarity. Ah! Whoa. Oh no, I dropped my ice cream! I'm not gonna think about the way she's just slightly off that makes me suspicious of her motives. I'm not. Is something troubling you, Rotona? You've been making a pained expression. No, that's... sorry. Yeah? What's this all about all of a sudden? Ugh. Good evening, ladies. Just as we were conversing, a barker approached us. Aville's Tavern got discounts this whole week. Stop by and have a look if you like. Eifel's Tavern, huh? It's just a tavern at the edge of town, pretty famous since a long while back. A tavern, ergo, a bar, a place for drinks. And we just got some new al up on tap. And to celebrate, we've got everything at 30% off. Retona, did you hear that? 30%. 30 whole percent. 30%. She's something one would never expect to hear from a princess who lived in a royal palace all her life. Well, we can't buy any sentiment, but we have more than enough money to get food. Why don't we go to a more typical restaurant instead of a tavern? That is true, and that place has quite the peculiar atmosphere. Well then, take this. He hands Rune a small slip of paper. A special coupon reserved only for lovely ladies such as yourself. Another 20% off. Half off everything. Tavern, forward march. What? You fall for it just because of a discount? She's never lived a life of wanting, so just where does the sense of chasing savings come from? You weren't raised to be like this. Haha, Ritani, you just sound like her mom. Tavern, forward, march. Something seems pretty up for it, so why don't we just take a look at least? Would you like me to show you the way? Well, it's a pain to think any further. I'll just let Selphine take the reins on this one. Oh boy. After a short walk, we emerge in a decidedly darker, dingier part of town. The ambience of this entire place contrasted starkly with the central district of town, where we stopped to earlier in the day. There was a slight air of danger that wafted around. I wouldn't even think of passing through an alleyway, even if it was a shortcut to some place. This place had that dark, desolate feel to it. Whoa, looks like things are getting pretty interesting. I wouldn't say interesting is the right word for this place. Rune suddenly walks ahead of us. Milady, are you sure you want to have your dinner in a place like this? What's wrong with it? What's wrong, you say? Doesn't anything come to mind just looking around? Scary, for one. Scary? I see. Not really, no. I mean, you're here with me. What's wrong, Ratona? It's nothing. Just, you might want to exercise a little more caution is all. It'll be fine. I doubt Rune will bring us anywhere dangerous. Besides, even if something does happen, you're right here by my side. We'll be alright. Goodness gracious. After 10 or so minutes, we arrive at an absurdly large building. Here we are. This is Eifel's Tavern. We follow after Rune, pushing the doors open and... Whoa, hey Ratona. Look, it's like super amazing. It certainly is. I'm awestruck. Eifel's Tavern. The huge wooden structure has an aroma of smoke and wood chips drifting through the air. It's just like one of those taverns you hear of in fairy tales. Whoa, Ratona, what is all this? Selphine squatted down and stared at what lay spread out all across the floor. The floor was covered in some kind of sawdust or shelves of some sort, leaving the original floor completely concealed. It sure is a pretty interesting place, right? Have a look at that. Rene pointed towards the middle of the building. What? That's enormous. The interior of the structure extended all the way to 3 whole stories, resembling a coliseum of sorts. A spiral staircase using a large tree as its motive extended all the way to the top floor. The stairs were used for delivering orders and such. Is that a real tree? Now that I look at it again, the large tree's canopy reaches all the way to the top and acts as the ceiling for the uppermost floor. You wouldn't notice it until you get a closer look, but you can see the night sky through the gaps between the leaves of the tree. It is indeed. This entire place is constructed around this tree. That's amazing. Marvelous. Truly marvelous, isn't it, Ratona? But what are they gonna do when it rains? I was just thinking about that too. hmm. The interior was lined with casks and casks of alcohol. This seemed to reach all the way to the third floor. Did the casks serve as some kind of divider? Try befuddling architectural design. This place is one of Kadia's main attractions. The brewery of Ivals is responsible for producing 60% of all liquor in Sector 3. Brewery, you say? Behind those casks is the brewery, separate from the tavern itself. Is that so? Suddenly. Hey, everyone, listen up! We hear a voice from above, resonating through the entire tavern, and the entire place falls silent. As we look up, we see a man standing on the railing of the second floor, a glass of beer in hand. Today I finally got myself canned from Merc. Now I don't ever have to see that damned boss man ever again. Time for a celebratory drink. All of you bastards in the tavern, your next drink's on me, good old Hertzmann. A flurry of cheering roars throughout. Hey, ain't that boss man of yours your old man? You're damn right he is, that stupid old coot. And I bet you're gonna be begging to head back tomorrow or the day after. Oh, bite me, like how I'm gonna do that. Keep it coming, Hertzmann. Here's to more free booze. Sure, more free booze for ya. Just give me a job first. Hey, if you got fired, just how the hell are you gonna pay for all the booze you're giving out? Well, of course I sure as hell can't, you numbskull. Looks like I'm washing dishes for ya for a month. Wow, Hertzmann, you're such a generous gent. Oh, that's so? Then why don't you marry me? Over my dead body. Everyone laughed up a storm. Alright, bottoms up, everyone. Every single person in the tavern goes woohoo as they share a hearty toast. The cheers roared with intensity that shook you to your very core. This place sure is something. That's just how this place is. So I suppose for you two, it might be a little... Well, I'm already used to it, so I don't mind. But Selfie might not yet be ready for a place like this. We ought to find a quieter place. I love it! What? Oh no. She's got that sparkle in her eyes. Matilda, let's get here, okay? It looks so fun here. But if some kind of trouble popped up, Waiter, I'd like a table for 3, please. In an instant, Celphine vanishes from my sight. Oh yes, ma'am. I'm a little busy here, so you could just seat yourselves in a booth inside? Aye. Wait, Celphine. What, really? We're eating here? Good grief. A penchant for merrymaking must run in the Rusing Hyde blood. Just what do you plan to do if something happens? I whispered to Celphine. Huh? We'll be fine. I mean, everyone's having so much fun. That doesn't even make any sense. I really love places like these. It's so fun, warm, and cozy. King Vala also had this side to him. He didn't place any distance between himself and his people. The king was close to his citizens. On the surface, you'd think it was a wonderful, charming thing. However, things weren't actually that simple. Royalty must always stand atop others. Without a strong charismatic presence, the citizenry will become uneasy. A king who's friendly with his citizens is nothing but the stuff of fantasy. From what I've heard, King Vala was quite troubled with this during his youth. There has to be an appropriate distance between a leader and his followers, otherwise that relationship will cease to be. Sooner or later, Celphine has to come to that realization as well. Should I caution her? I take a quick glance at Celphine besides me. Num. Celphine stuffed her mouth with walnuts, looking happy but oh so undignified. Yum, this stuff is pretty good. Returner, this stuff is pretty good. Num. Don't get so happy over a bunch of walnuts. A hamster is in our midst. A princess like her is enjoying something so pedestrian. Num. Celphine had such a carefree smile on her face, more so than usual. She sure is nuts for those. Selphine, your face looks so funny. Rune laughs. Delish. And Selphine laughs along with her. Oh, you can just toss the shells onto the floor. Whoa, I see. So all the stuff on the floor is those shells. That's pretty cool, isn't it, Rotona? Magnificent. Ah, well, never mind. Just having fun anyway. Really, though, it's been so long since I've come here. Did you come here regularly before? Nope, just once a while back. Is that so? Well, I suppose that makes sense. These kind of places don't suit you at all either, Rune. Eh? You think so? This isn't the kind of place a girl all by herself would go to. Well, I suppose that is true. Oh, right. How do we even order food? Ah, point taken. You look at the menu and choose from there. Everything that's being served here is written in there. Rene hands me a thick booklet placed on the edge of the table. Whoa, it's so thick. What is this? These drawings are pretty impressive. The menu had numerous drawings of some of the dishes. It's not watercolor. It looks somewhat like graphite lead, but there's color? This is the outer pole, so they couldn't have used mana to make these either. Just what kind of drawing technique did they employ to come up with such realistic pictures? The level of detail present in these drawings is beyond what the human hand can achieve. Those aren't drawings, but what we call photographs. Photographs? Yes. Actually, do you not have menus where you come from? How do you order things then? Huh? Well, we, normally was set up such that whenever you enter the establishment, a craft line would be activated. From the line, a list of ingredients would flow into your conscious. Just by entering the shop, you would have already known everything they serve. There'd be no point in leaving these bundles of paper at every table. A menu, eh? Pretty inefficient way of doing things. But they have no choice. There's no mana here. That is, something similar to this. We have a lot of small establishments from where we are. There's usually a large display board hung just above the kitchen. Apparently that's how it was like before the advent of Comcraft. I've only ever seen mock-ups of it, though. Huh? These cultural differences sure are interesting, huh? Even with something as simple as this. Yeah, our countries definitely are different from each other. Now, which should we eat? I can't sense a single... I can... Blah, 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 blah. I can feel a strange aura from beside me. What in the... Something looks completely different. Your eyes are so fixed to the menu, with an expression more serious than I've ever seen. Could it be? I say those eyes are ones able to see things that no normal person could see. Stern, dignified, clear eyes. The eyes of royalty. Has she finally awakened? But why now? Why here? What's the matter, my lady? I feel her gaze pierce my very being. What's wrong, Selphine? Ritona. Rune. Yes? I... Gulp. I can't read this menu. Well, I suppose that much was obvious. We relied on Rune this entire time, so I didn't realize it until now. But we can't actually read the language. Ariel can only interpret what is audible, not written. Miss Selphine? If you just told me, then I would gladly help you read, so please, don't make such a scary face. Okay, thanks. Selphine doesn't even notice. Renee's gone totally pale from seeing her expression. I'll take everything. No, you won't. Absolutely not. Everything looks so delicious, I can't decide. Just how much do you plan to eat? You're gonna get fat. Ugh, I'll be fine, I'm already this hungry. That's no excuse. But we're telling to look, everything just looks so tasty. That doesn't mean we can just order every single thing. Oh, then how about ordering this sampler then? It has many of the items in the menu, but in bite-sized portions. I'll take that then. I'd like something easy on the stomach. Is there anything like that? A dish that's easy to digest. Hmm. Well, there's really just soup, I suppose. Then I'll go with that. A line of servers brought out each and every single dish on the menu to our table. Wow, this looks amazing. Selfing's order of samplers completely covers the entire table. This is quite a lot of food. Can she even finish all this? It looks delicious. Mind your manners, seriously. Oh, come on. Lighten up, Rotona. It's time to get some grub. Selfine is getting so excited that her persona is already giving way. You two are just too funny. Don't tell me. You're actually traveling entertainers? Funny? Absolutely not. Oh, Rotona, are you alright with just soup? Is that gonna be enough for you? Yes, I'd like something light for tonight. It might be because the flow of mana here is weak, but I have no appetite. Rotona, if you don't eat anything, you won't get any energy. I realize that, milady. But honestly, I just can't get rid of this feeling of languidness. I don't particularly feel bad, but it's like the chill you'll feel right before a strong fever sets in. The bones of your very bones weakening. Oh, right. They said the discounts were to celebrate the new ale, right? How about we try some of that? What? Rotona, are you alright with ale? That's a mighty fine question there, Rune. No need to hide anything now. Rotona here can match her drink with any man, even one bigger than he. I panic and cover Selfine's mouth. I'd rather she not say too much. Rotona, are you a heavy drinker? No, not in the slightest. Indeed, she is. Rotona's a real aficionado of alcohol. Selfine escapes my grasp and proclaims that in a loud voice. There's no need to shout. Well then, we really should order some. Here they say that the alcohol is the best medicine. I'm sure it'll help you feel better. And Ivel's Tavern's ale is really famous. I've always wanted to try it myself, too. Is it really alright for me to do something so imprudent? Excuse me, waiter. We'll take 2 steins of your new ale. Wait, since since when were you the one in charge of ordering? How sly. And I'll have a glass of pomegranate juice. You got it, just a moment. Pomegranate juice is good. In less than 10 seconds, he casually pours beer into a couple of steins. Starting off with some ale, ladies. You all look pretty young, too. We heard that the new brews always sell out quickly, so we figured we ought to have a head start. You sure did, and they're nice and cold thanks to our new aqua box. Enjoy. Okay, let's toast to our new friendship. I drink to that. The 3 of us clink our glasses together. Oh, this is good. Really good. There are very few places where you can get brew this good in Rugenheid. Wonderful. It's the first time all day that I've seen you relax like this. It is? Have I been on edge all day? You were totally serious the whole day. Is that so? I must have been more tired than I realized. Phew, that was delicious. It sure was. Perhaps because of the ale, I was able to eat much more than I thought I could. Well then, let's settle the bell and head back to the... What the... That sounded like a lot of glassware shattering nearby. Eek. What's going on? Please wait here, you two. I'll leap out of my seat and head towards the sound. You better keep your word. That's what a real man does, right? Right? Don't give me that bull about being a man when you can't even pay for your own damn drink, you mooch. That hurt swan fellow from earlier was quarreling with a man much larger than him. The hell you say to me, you little smash? The man smashed a wooden table twice as thick as his arm in two, like it was nothing. What is with that man? A subject. Both of you, please stand back. Perfect timing. I've always wanted to see how this body of mine is going to work on a living, breathing person. What? What the heck? The man pulls out a cask from the packed wall using just one hand without breaking a sweat. And then... Hey, What are you up to? Hey! He lifts the cask up overhead. Its size even larger than his entire body. Is that a cask full of alcohol? It was a surreal scene. So surreal that the jeering bystanders were all silenced. Don't tell me you're gonna roll that thing at me. Are you gonna kill a man over some lousy tab? Yeah, I will. I'll teach you to just run your mouths off. Hey you, what the hell are you do? Shut up! He flung an empty stool in the air as he was shouting in response. The heavy bar stool zoomed through the air in a straight line. The waiter just barely managed to dodge the stool, which quickly smashed into the wall behind him, breaking apart into pieces. If y'all don't want to die, then back the hell off. Ritona, I am working on it. Damn, the band of the air is too thin, and I can't get the synergy right. I just have to do this with my own mana. Please, make it in time. I'm making to refine any internal purified mana into Terra and Pyro. The right ratio, the right timing, the right synergy. Terra, Pyro, materialization, polishing, cooling. Stop screwing around. You can still stop this. Calm the hell down. Finished. I leap off the ground. Please, let me get there in time. Then suddenly, running your mouth got you into this mess, you little piece of... A shadow flies through the corner of my eye. Warg. Crash. For a moment, I couldn't tell what exactly happened. Hertzman had vanished from in front of me. In his place was... Rune! Rune's body, flying from the impact of being struck by the cask. Huh? What the heck just... You bastard! I use a nearby table as a launching pad and jump. Using all of my strength, I swing my sword downwards. And the sword met no resistance. It was a clean slice. The cask was cleaved in two, spilling ale all over the tavern. What the... Oh, just what? I can read so goods. The man loses his balance and falls flat on his rear. What the hell, you what? His eyes are fixated on the strange object pointed at his throat. A transparent sword? This glass sword can cut through even metal. Your neck is nothing in comparison. It'll cut easily through it like a hot knife through butter. Listen, I'm only gonna say this once. Don't move. Why, you little... He screams at me with hate, but our match is already over. As I've got his neck pinned to the ground, the chattering of his boots against the floor tells me all I need to know. Rune! Milady, how's Rune? Oh. A reaction. Allie? Rune, are you okay? I'll patch you up in a sec, okay? Wait, what? Oh, sorry, I must have tripped. You tripped? What's wrong? There isn't a single scratch on her. What? Are you sure you're fine? Rune just rose to her feet without a single mark or bruise. I'm fine, really. I just tripped a little. No, that's impossible. I'm 100% A-okay. Just look at me, perfectly healthy. Hey, you three, wait a minute. Dang, really, thanks for the help back there. If you girls weren't around, I'd be pushing up daisies by now. No, I didn't do a thing. Save your gratitude for this girl. Oh no, I didn't do anything either. I just happened to be around and then I accidentally tripped. This girl, she's still terrible at lying. Wait, aren't you? He takes a close look at Rune. Nah, that can't be. It's nothing. Never mind. Well, anyway, seriously, thanks. Please, could y'all let me do something to return the favor? Oh my, you don't need to, really. Wait, On your shirt, does that read Grokvil's apparel? Heck yeah, it does. The name's Hertzman of Grolkfields, second generation owner of Grolkfields Apparel. So you are. Then that's perfect timing. Huh? What do you mean? Well, actually, we're gonna explain our predicament to Hertzvan. So as you can see, these two girls really stand out, so we've been looking for a new set of clothes. Oh, is that it? Then leave it to me. I'll stitch up some clothes even nicer than what my old man could ever put out. Come with me. Wait, were we going right this moment? It's fine, right? The night's still young. Let me do this much, okay? Besides, you'd rather have this done as soon as you can, right? Well, that is true. But just how he's gonna tailor while drunk? Gotta strike while the iron's hot, and I'm in the mood. You let me do this tonight, I'm not even gonna ask you what these are for. Once tomorrow hits, and I'll be all sobered up, and my curiosity's just gonna get the better of me, you know? That's just ridiculous. Wow, you'll make clothes for us? I sure as hell I am. You girls are my saviors. These outfits are gonna be the best I make yet. Cute. Oh wow, Ratona, look! This fabric feels really good. Oh, this is quite... Wow, you two look fantastic. Of course they do. What do you think I am? I was totally taken unawares. Hertzvan's sterling was second to none. Anyways, I made him nice and simple like you asked me to, but... These models using the clothes are just too beautiful that they stand out anyway. Hertzman keeps looking back at Selphine as he tilts his head. Yay, he said I'm a great model. Well, of course. She was born to a king said to be the most handsome of the land, and a queen blessed with both looks and intelligence. If she weren't beautiful, I'd be filing a complaint to Mother Nature herself. Still, though, miss. Do you mean me? How do you like your outfit? I can't say it's the most original color palette I've ever tailored up. Black on black with a shade of gray. But you're quite the looker yourself. Don't you want to put on a little more color? I think it'll look great on you. No, I'm fine with this. The color black has a tendency to absorb mana. As mana is absorbed into your clothing, it becomes easier to feel the levers of mana around you. Levers? I can word good. For battle crafters who can start and finish a craft in a split second, it isn't rare that wearing black can tip the outcome of a battle. Mana crafters always have to keep that function in mind for their clothing. Putting on cloaks, though, that sounds pretty 30 years old, you two. Do you think so? I think they look really cute. No? I see. Thanks for letting me know then. Well, pretty young ladies like yourselves really are the best for modeling this stuff. Modeling for what? Trends, fashion, it's always a changin'. The fact that you girls like this kind of look... Wait. The fact that you girls like this kind of look is proof that it'll be the in thing again soon. You got a point there. Boy, oh boy, it's been a long time since I've done up outfits this pretty. Feels great. Thank you so much, Mr. Hertzvan. Anytime. Wait, weren't you fired? Can we just waltz in here and do all this? Yeah, it's fine. The old coot just says whatever he wants to. She's gotta learn to let it go, otherwise he ain't gonna last. What happened between you two? He's not something real crazy to me. Insane. Absurd. Totally not something you'd ever say to your own flesh and blood son. Family business, huh? It's not something that will always go smoothly. What did he say to you? He told me not to drink while I'm on the job. That's a reasonable request. That sounds perfectly rational to me. You were clearly in the wrong there. I was sailing up some suits for a bro's wedding. It's like the rule that you drink to celebrate good times. There is no such rule. Yo, Hertzman, you okay from earlier? Sorry, ladies, just give me a moment here. Hertzman sets aside and begins to converse with the couple who passed by. The fabric here makes it so easy to move. Indeed. You two look really great in these outfits. Those outfits. He really wasn't joking. The materials he used are fantastic. The qualities of the cloth is just as good, maybe even better than my normal wear outfit. I wonder how much this would have cost us if we were gonna pay. What's with that dry laugh? I took a look at the store's price list earlier. How much would have this been? You know what they say, ignorance is bliss. Was it that expensive? Just who is this Wurzfond fellow? Sorry about that, ladies. Was that your friend? Yeah, well, he's just a guy I bump into sometimes in Iceville. Hey, Hertzfan, I heard you picked a fight in the tavern. Is that true? Huh? It wasn't a big deal. Don't put too much worry on my fragile little heart now, okay? Worry you? Me? Again, Hertzfan heads over to converse with the lady who passes it by. Aw, Rune, yeah. I actually don't know entirely what you're responding to. Whoops. Oh well. Oh, if you say so then. Come on, no need to pout like that. We'll just sit over there sometime for dinner next time. Just the two of us. What do you say? Not a chance. Not even a chance? Well, if you insist. Heck yeah, I do. I'm up for it any time. After they finish talking, the lady leaves. Sorry for bailing again. You sure know a lot of people. We're the only place here that tailors up formal outfits. When you've been doing it for this thing, you and your customers are practically best buddies. Hertzfan takes out a flask of alcohol and swirls it around, inhaling the vapors. Don't you think you've been drinking too much? You should slow your pace a little. It's fine, I gotta do this. This is part of my job, too. Drinking is a part of your job? Yeah, for sure it is. The city needs a village idiot, a class act, someone to bring on the laughter. What do you mean by that? Everyone in the city's tired, exhausted. These here parts, every day there's news about how manor-related sicknesses are spreading, or how the outer pole's borders are shrinking. It just gets to you. Everyone's on edge. The borders of the outer pole are shrinking? Never heard of that phenomenon before. Actually, now that you mention it, we haven't heard any good information about that in a while. But ladies, it's times like these, tough times, that people have to laugh, to smile. We gotta enjoy every single day we're on this planet. Mr. Hartzvan? What? I don't think... I think that you're a fantastic person. This ain't nothing. I just love my booze. Hartzvan laughed up a storm. Anyways. Thanks. No way, really? It's pretty interesting, isn't it? Oh, and food, farming and agriculture are just booming back in my country. That's incredible. I know, right? Just amazing, really. Exactly. Your homeland seems like such a fun place. I'm so envious. You're from such a wonderful place. Why would you want to leave just to travel? Well... Oh, did I say something I shouldn't have? Let's just say we have some things to deal with. To put it another way, we're not so much traveling as we were making our way back home. We didn't intend for this to happen. Oh, I'm sorry for bringing that all up. No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. I've never even been to San Drizda myself, but from what I hear, the continent's pretty far away, isn't it? Yes, it is. It's on the complete opposite side of the planet. There isn't a place farther than that. Curses. It's the age of exploration right now. While it may sound like the perfect time to adventure, the truth is that all the other nations are busy trying to protect and expand their own territories. It's utter chaos. Honestly, we need to get back home as soon as we can, but we're in a bind. We're absolute novices at traveling, so we don't even know how long the journey will take. Does that mean I've done nothing but get in your way as I was dragging you all over town? Not at all. It's nothing to be concerned about at all, Rune. We're only able to gather this much in supplies with the amount of money we had thanks to Rune, after all. She's right. We're really grateful to you, Rune. So hold your head up high, okay? Okay. Cutes. Well, thanks very much for everything today. No, the gratitude is all ours. Thanks so much for helping us out today, Rune. I share her sentiments. You have my gratitude, Rune. Oh, I know. Hey, Rune. Well, what is it? Vilsirol. Huh? Okay, you do this. Sylphine sticks her hand out with her thumb and pinky spread out, while the other three fingers are kept together. Rune mimics Sylphine's gesture, and they do a rough and Rookstein Hyde style handshake. Good job, Brune. What was that? Vil Seriol. I don't know. It's a greeting we say in our country's native language. It means luck be with you. Ritona. With every encounter, luck is part of the beginning and of the end. It's one of the traditional sayings we have from our country. Whenever you meet or say goodbye to someone, you tell them, Vil Sirol. Selfine. What? This has been the best, funnest day I've ever had in my entire life. Your kindness brings me to tears. Oh, don't exaggerate. Ritona. Visceral to you, too. Yeah, visceral. You shake her hand. Very wholesome. She sure cries easily. Well, the sun's totally set now. We can walk you back. Yeah? Did you just say yeah? It's alright. I'm fine. No need to worry about me. I don't think anyone in the city would even think of doing stuff to me, like kidnapping or whatever. Anyway, moving on. Yes? Will you two be leaving town by tomorrow? That's the plan, tomorrow morning. Is that so? Why do you ask? What about evening? No, noon. Could you please wait for me until noon? Hey, Ritona, you awake? I am. What do we do tomorrow? Do you mean about Rune? There's something I'd like to give you. I don't think she has any hidden intentions. I've kept an eye on her behavior all day today, and she seems to be genuinely doing this out of kindness. Of course she is. Ritona, you've always been so suspicious of everyone. I'm your guardian, after all. She's treated like an occupational disease. I know. We've been together for so long, right? I wonder what she wants to give us, though. Well, shall we extend our stay to just noontime tomorrow, then? Of course. We've managed to make a friend. Who knows what the next time we'll meet will be. I can understand what you're feeling exactly. She certainly had her peculiarities, but I've grown rather fond of Rune as well. Who wouldn't? Even though we need to get back to Rigsenheide as soon as we can, I can figure another few hours wouldn't hurt. There's another reason why we need to leave this place as soon as we can, however. This place, the Outer Pole, is called that because it's beyond the reach of the mana streams emanating from the 4 mana poles. Yeah, I know that much. And it's because there's so little mana that sediment costs so much, right? Indeed. By the way, how are you feeling right now? Huh? Well, I guess I'm pretty tired. We did do quite a lot of walking and all. And that's not what I meant. It's true that we expended quite a lot of our stamina. However, the exhaustion you're feeling stems primarily from the lack of mana. What? Our bodies are not accustomed to land with this little mana. It's akin to a place that doesn't have enough oxygen. Yeah? Is that dangerous? It'll be quite taxing on your body, but it's nothing life-threatening. What is dangerous, however, is that your body will acclimatize to the lack of mana. Is like a bad thing? Don't you think it's rather strange? Apart from special areas like these, mana is present all throughout the planet. If the mana present in the area is so lacking that it's obstructing your way of life, then you can just move somewhere else. So why don't the people of the Outer Pole do the same? Oh. The reason is simple. Even if they wanted to, they can't leave. But why not? Being raised in a land rich with mana, staying for a short while in a place that has much less of it isn't too difficult. Ugh. Our bodies will eventually get used to the small amount of mana, and we can continue with our lives as normal. However, the opposite of that is not possible. Why not? A person's mana system develops in the first 6 to 9 months of their life, based on the concentration of mana of their surroundings. This process determines their eternal absolute limit for storing mana. For the rest of that person's life, their body will continue to take in mana from the atmosphere according to this limit. However, for people who were born and raised in the Outer Pole, this limit is as good as 0. Their bodies cannot metabolize mana. For someone like that were to go to a place with an incredibly high concentration of mana, there's a phenomena where the mana present in the air forces itself into the body. Seeing as this mana cannot be metabolized by the body, do you know what it is to the body? Poison. Yes. In other words, mana shock occurs. Oh no. But maybe they could just slowly get used to more and more mana. Even if they weaken their mana consumption rate, it's said that it's something that can't be trained up. The fact that there are no people leaving this outer pool is proof of this. For those who've grown up with mana, there's no resource more valuable. But for those who have no connection to it, there isn't a thing more dangerous. It's similar to taking a fish that can only live in fresh water and suddenly tossing it into salt water. And that is the other reason as to why we need to leave as soon as possible. This is only based on what I've heard, but our bodies can only last for 5 days. We absolutely cannot spend any longer than that in the outer pole. If we don't take care, then we may be forever confined to this place. Knowing all this, do you still intend to wait till noon tomorrow? I'll wait. Very well then. Once we've gotten back to Riesenheid, I was gonna send Rune an invitation and ask her to come over and visit us. But with mana shock and all, that's not possible, is it? No, it's not. Then that means our meeting tomorrow with her is our last. We've only known each other for a really short time, but that doesn't change the fact that Rune is my friend. Because if I can't even treasure my friends, then being able to treasure the people of my country would be impossible for me. Sorry, Ritona. I know I'm being selfish and that I'm dragging you along into more danger. Nonsense, milady. Your will is mine. Really, I'm so sorry. Don't be. I think your sentiment is truly, truly admirable. Please, trust your discernment. I'll stand by your decision, no matter what. She's late. It's 12:20. Well, let's wait a little longer. Just a little longer. And if she still doesn't come... Are you two Selphine and Ritona? We turn around to find a tall man standing behind us. My full attention focuses straight on his eyes. They were sharp, almost combative, and weren't the kind to just let anyone get close to him. Maybe he was born with them? Maybe it's Maybelline. Just what kind of life would one have lived to get such a sad gaze like that? Oh, I can think of plenty of things, but, And you are? My name is Rudo Zveitz, CEO of this Vice No, I suppose that title means nothing to the likes of you two. Long story short, I'm Sarah's owner. Sarah? Owner of Sarah? Is that some kind of store? And that's the thing that was accompanying you the night before. Last night? Do you mean the girl we were with yesterday? Rune? What? Upon hearing the name, his face stiffens up. Calling itself Rune now, is that right? Yes, she was. Ruda lets out an exasperated sigh. Well, let's get one thing straight. I don't know what lies that thing has told you, but what you spent the entirety of yesterday with is without a doubt Sarah. Could you please stop addressing Rune as if she were a thing? What's wrong with referring to an object as an object? Why you? I glared at him with intent to intimidate. Just what do you want with us? Oh, is that so? Rita seems to have come to a conclusion of sorts as he suddenly approaches me straight on. As we stand right across each other, the difference in height becomes glaringly obvious. I only just came up to his chin. I don't know about that. Like his chin is here. That's nose level for you. I instinctively got myself into a defensive stance. And then... Your eyes are absolutely exquisite. Time stops. My body is frozen still. I break out in cold sweat all over my body. Their lush brilliance, the deep colors of your irises, such splendid eyes, as if they were radiant to a faint glow of light. There was nothing more than cringe-worthy cliched lines, one after another. Or it should have, had the gaze in his eyes started staring at me. Word, blah, blah, blah. Or it should have, had the gaze in his eyes staring straight at me, not been swirling full of hatred and anger. Retona, I see. I heard you were travelers, but for you to have been outsiders. Excuse me. What do you want from us? So be it. Rito distanced himself again from us. Just who is this man? There has to be a limit to how far you can take xenophobia. Ritona, are you okay? I'm fine. This just caught me by surprise, that's all. Back to the topic at hand. What on earth did you tell Sarah? I can't imagine what could inspire her to take such unexplainable actions. Now just a moment here. I'm telling you that girl we were with yesterday was Rune. If you're gonna keep insisting she's Sarah, then we'd like to see some proof. Unfortunately, I don't have the time to explain everything just for you. Let's put it this way. I'm just her overseer. You're Rune's overseer? You haven't been making sense at all this entire time. This morning, we found Sarah leaving my company's mines with sediment on its person. What? Mine? We're currently evacuating it. Sarah must have thought we wouldn't notice it taking some class 4 sediment. Stealing from the mines, just to give it to people like you, outsiders. What is it thinking, I swear? Evacuating. Well, it's just that the work I do is a little special. It's a pretty unique way of making a living in this place. Don't tell me. No way. Rune is a mana mine worker? Just how slow do you have to be? Look, Rune does not exist. Okay, look, whatever we were with yesterday, Sarah, was it? Is she a laborer in the mana mine? She is, and what of it? This is an outrage. Are you insane? Working in a mana mine with that frail, dainty body, she can possibly be doing this of her own will. Own will? There's no such thing. I gave it orders and it carries them out. That's all there is to it. Do you mean to say she's a slave? What? Are you treating Rune as a slave? Does this country still practice slavery? This is just too much. You say that you made friends with Sarah, but for her to not have told you something so important, considering you're friends, you ought to be exasperated. Please answer me. Is Rune a slave under your position? Selphine. That's a preposterous question. My time isn't worth having to educate people who misconstructed this entire situation, like you, from the very beginning. And I have little to gain once you do understand. So you got out of your way to meet us, but you won't even tell us anything? Now, don't you look so disappointed. I came here to pay you back for your time. As he speaks to us, he takes out a finely shaped sediment from his pocket. The sediment was as clear as glass, without a single impurity. Class 1 sediment. Considering how much sediment costs in the outer pole, one has to wonder how much this would cost. You two wanted some sediment, am I right? Here, I kept you waiting, so take this. No, thank you. Rather than that, we'd like to hear the full story behind all this. That's too much trouble, so I'll just skip to the end. Rune is not a slave. The two weren't even remotely comparable. To make things clear and simple, it broke the company's rules. As we're taking the best steps possible to make sure that this doesn't happen again. If you want any more information beyond that, then conduct your own investigation. Now, if you'll excuse me. Wait. What? What happened to Rune? No, Sarah. And why do you have to concern yourselves with that? Because she's our friend. Selphine immediately responds in a loud voice, her patience seeming to have run dry. Rune stole some sediment. That's the issue here, right? Then I'll just pay you back for it. Don't do anything to Rune. And here I was wondering what you had to say. You do realize this entire incident happened because you don't have the money to actually pay for sediment, right? Well, that may be the case for us right now, but once we return home... You're telling me to trust someone who I've only just met? This isn't something you can solve with just your emotions. Ruto once again begins to walk away. Wait! I'm a monocrafter. Ritona. If you give me any empty sediment, I can fill it with purified mana. With stones the size that you're holding, I can easily top up 10, even 20 of them. Well, how about that? Will we still have a problem? You're a rather desperate girl, especially for you to make such remarks in a public place like this. And here I thought you had your head on straight. I suppose I overestimated you. Well, come on. Purified mana from a human. That's an extremely valuable resource in these parts, right? I'd say it's quite a good deal. Good grief. How utterly naive. Look, let me share some insight with you. When it comes to crime and punishment, the system does not exist simply to fix the crime. It must be a system that can reform the behavior and psyche of whoever committed the crime. Apologies and reparations are just a byproduct. A formality, in other words. Nothing more. Isn't there anything? Anything at all we can do? Nothing. The fact that I, the victim of this matter, haven't demanded anything from you means that the matter's already been solved. I simply came here so I could hear your side of things, but it doesn't look like there's any point in that. But... more importantly, both of you had better not forget about this mana shock. Idle around here long enough, you won't be able to leave the outer pole. Especially you with red eyes. Based on the glow in your eyes, I'd say you have 3 days left here. Excuse me? I'm talking about mana shock. You're from the outside, right? There's no way you don't know about it. You can find out that much just by looking into someone's eyes? Who is this man? Leave. That is the best course of action for you right now. Well, if you want to end up being unable to leave the outer pole for the rest of your life, then that's a different story. Rito finally parts from us, leaving behind that final sardonic remark. What do you think, Ritona? Ritona? I don't know. Selfing continues to stare in the direction that Ruto left, her face showing her refusal to accept the outcome. It's natural. Even I can't accept this. So, Rene is a slave? I'm not sure. Ruto's explanation was extremely vague, as if he was intentionally speaking in circles to obscure something. Ritona. Yes? I was wondering what my father would have done if he were in our place, but I'm struggling to find an answer. Slavery. I've only ever heard about it in stories. If King Bivala were here. Ooh, boy! Options! Okay, he would intervene. I'm sure he would intervene, one way or another. Perhaps now, or at a later opportunity. Yes. You're right. Rune, or Sarah, was it? Her safety is certainly a concern. But more importantly, we would have found out whether or not slavery is still being practiced here. Probe and investigate. That was one of King Vala's favorite phrases. While other countries often took issue straight to the battlefield, Rixenheit has always prioritized conducting a thorough investigation first to determine the proper course of action. On their culture, their character as a nation, their values, the maintenance of the path down, taking all of it into consideration to find true justice. However, if slavery really was being practiced here, then that simply isn't an issue of differing cultures. In this world, there are things that are absolutely evil, and I believe it is part of Rixenheit's duty as representative of the Alliance to stamp out these evils. There's no justice in allowing the exploitation of people for the selfish desires of others. Yes. Violence is certainly out of the question. But we can get a little rough. In this day and age, lines between good and evil are blurred. That's why, as people who can extend a hand to others, we must take more aggressive action. Even if we can't effect any change this instant, we must at least take action. At the very least, I'd like to confirm Rune's safety. Selphine's clouded, dissatisfied expression brightened considerably, but still, I don't think I can come to a decision. Her expression once again clouds up. Mana shock, right? Yeah. This isn't something for me to decide on my own. However, there's no need to worry about anything. I've already come to a decision of my own. Let's set a time limit. What? That man, Rudo. He told us 3 days, but I feel like that's cutting it too close. Let's pin it at 2 days. No matter what the outcome, we leave the outer pole the day after tomorrow. Until then, we do our best to help. Is that alright for you? Yeah. Well then, your orders? Utona. Yes. Let's help Brune out. It shall be done, milady. We begin our investigations by asking the residents of the town what that we met. Goodness. I recall the route we took as we did our shopping. This is the central district. The person closest here should be probably the lady at the general store. We come across the well-rounded lady whom we purchased a map from yesterday as she was cleaning her storefront. Excuse me, do you have a moment? Oh, welcome back. Is there anything we can help you with today? Actually, we have a few questions about Rune. Do you mind sharing a bit of your time with us? Rune? Oh my, what could that be? Huh? What do you mean? You don't remember us? What are you talking about? Don't play jokes on me. Of course I remember what happened just 1 day ago. She's the girl who was with us. The girl who was with you was Sarah, right? Looks like we'll have to use Sarah from here on. What's wrong? Your faces look pale. Yesterday she introduced herself to us as Rune. Oh my, I wonder why she would do that. I apologize for my rudeness earlier, but I'd just like to clarify things. The girl who was with us yesterday, the other day, is named Sarah, yes? Yep, that's right. The lady shakes her head. Sarah's been assigned to maintenance work on the power grid here, so I see her maybe once a month. Power grid? You see that box-looking thing over there? She points to a box sitting in the corner of her store. There are a number of long cylinders jutting out of the box, extending down into the ground. What is that? You don't know about the grid? You sure are behind the times for someone so young. You know about the mana mine outside of town? They extract mana from there and send it through the pipes to every household in here. So there's some kind of filter or something on or other in that box that has to be replaced once every month. And the one who does that every month for us is Sarah. So her work isn't just excavating in the mines? That's why I'm sure of it. Maybe you just heard wrong? That can't be it. She was very particular about her name when she was talking with Selphine, so I remember it very clearly. Now, why did she use a pseudonym? A reason to intentionally use a false name. Perhaps she was she was part of some kind of scam? No, if this were a scam, then Rudo should have taken me up when I offered the mana. If they were both accomplices, then that would have made much more sense. However, Rudo refused my offer without a second thought. So if this isn't a scam, then what could it be? Alright then, does anything come to mind when we mention the name Rune? Rune, huh? Well, that's just a normal girl's name. She stops talking mid-sentence. Her expression darkens as well, or so it seems to me. Now that you mention it, I remember one particular girl named Rune, but the story isn't a pleasant one. And what do you mean by that? The Zevites? There was a girl who was named that. Oh, I mean the family, not the company. But apparently, she died about 6 years ago. She died? I don't really know the details myself. It's all just old rumors, so I don't know what is and isn't truth. But it's a fact that the Zvites family had a daughter named Rune. Well, I've never seen her since, so maybe the rumor of her dying really is true. Could we have the details of that story? That girl was the devil in disguise. Some people believed that and others didn't, but I'm sure she was. That damn girl should never have been born in the first place. But please calm down. We're talking about a mere child here. Was she a little naughty? Regardless of what happened, she was still a child. Referring to her that way isn't very fitting. If we're talking about any normal child, I'd agree with you there. But you just don't know who she was. That's why you can still think it that way. Are you that certain? I'll have you know, I have 3 kids of my own. I've experienced more than my fair share of bratty little kids. But that Rune, she was just worlds apart. Everywhere she went, you can bet disaster soon followed. It's hard to imagine her lying about all this. But she was still just a child, right? How do I put it? She'd make your hair stand on end. I heard rumors that she would be violent when out of sight. But when you meet her in person, she would just be so prim and proper, it was almost sickening. She acted very mature, even though she was just a little child. Every time you spoke with her, it felt like she was planning something. At the age of 7, she managed to put that kind of pressure on an adult many times her size. You'd understand that I meant to if you'd met with her too. Well, not that you can though, now that she's dead. Say, Ritona. Yes? She met some Devites. Do you think they have anything to do with that Rudo person? Wait, don't tell me. Did you actually meet Rudo? Yeah, just a while ago at the Central District. Oh my word, that's just unheard of. What do you mean? I've never heard of him ever just walking around town like that. Say, was that Rune related to Rudo somehow? She was his little sister. Poor Rudo. He's still so young, but both his parents and his little sister passed away one after the other. Now he has to manage the entire company all by himself. Excuse me. Oh, well, I'll be right there. Sorry, girls. Looks like story time is over. I've got a customer. Sorry for coming during business hours. We appreciate the information. Thank you. His little sister. Looks like we've gotten more questions than we have answers, Is the girl we met yesterday Rudo's little sister? The Romaji of Schweiz is Zewitz, so I imagine it's supposed to be pronounced Zewitz. We'll see if I remember that. I probably won't. Well, I wouldn't bet on it. What makes you say that? Maybe the rumors said that she died were all wrong. She did say it was a long time ago, and that she doesn't remember so well. If that is true, then that means Rudo treats his little sister as an object and forces her to work in the mana mines like a slave, wouldn't it? Maybe something that isn't out of the ordinary for this country? I certainly don't want to imagine that kind of scenario, though. Huh? Ritona? What is it? Are you alright? You're looking a little pale. I'm feeling slightly lethargic. There's also a heat, I feel. It's quite unpleasant. It's strange. Like every muscle in my body is slowly losing tension. The mana inside my body seems to be diffusing outwards, thanks to the osmotic pressure from the difference in the mana construction. Yeah, concentrations. Ugh, words. I'm fine. But more importantly, how are you feeling, Selphine? I'm feeling perfectly fine. Alright. You must be feeling mana shock, right? I wonder why I feel perfectly fine. This is just a theory. I said that the use of mana has an effect on shortening one's lifespan. Royalty need to be able to live as long as they possibly can as well. That being the case, they don't use craft in their day-to-day lives. Using craft that they can instead have an attendant perform is actually considered taboo. They mustn't trouble themselves with the hassles of a daily routine. There are far too many things for them to concern themselves with. Naturally, Selphine is no exception to this. It's probably because, unlike me, you don't use any monocraft on a daily basis, which means the onset of symptoms takes longer. A small relief. If my symptoms worsen, I can use that as a basis to determine when the onset of monoshock will occur for Selphine. Ritona. Lady. This is another order. Selphine looks at me straight in the eyes as she continues. Take care of yourself. If you feel that you're in danger, then I want you to leave the outer pole immediately. So please, if it comes sooner than the 3-day limit, then let me know as soon as you can. I understand. For the time being, I truly do feel fine. This is probably just my own familiarity with the sensation I'm experiencing for the very first time. Okay. However, we don't have any concrete plan for while we're here in the outer pole. That's not exactly very good. Just asking around isn't very efficient either. Is there someone who knows the ins and outs of the city we could speak with? Say, Ritona. Yes? How about we ask Hartzvan? Brooks Apparel, glad to be closed. What? Again? Closed right in the middle of the day? Is he at the tavern again? The tavern at this time of day? No, I think he's inside. Eh? I gently push against the door, and it opens. I knew it. Can we just go in like this? Most likely. So you're not 100% sure? Wait for me. Hey, Hertzvan, you in here? I intentionally call out for him in a loud voice. If my hunch is right. Whoa, there's someone over there. Looks like I was spot on. Selphine quickly hides herself behind my back. Hertzvan, sorry to intrude, but we need to talk with you. There's something there, Ritona. I can hear some creepy creature's voice. It's alright. The creature's pretty weakened right now. The voice I hear from behind the shop sounds like the distillation of all the hatred in this world in a single audible groan. That hit the spot. Hertzvan smacks his lips at the food that Selphine cooked up to help him recover from his hangover. If you want seconds, just let me know. This man just experienced the greatest luxury of his life. A country's princess just cooked him up a meal to help him through his hangover. You'd better be grateful for that meal. Are you mad, Ritona? Should I cook you up something too? Words? I'm not angry, no. Not in the slightest. Oh, this stuff just brings you back to life. Hey, Missy, how old are you? You sure know how to cook up a meal to sober up an old drunk like me. I just love cooking, and I've been cooking up stuff like this every time Ritona gets I prefer Selphine's mouth at the speed of light. Selphine, now that's settled down, why don't we move on to the reason why we're here? Oh, right. Please don't share information that doesn't need to be shared. No idea what's going on, but looks like I owe you one again. You got a question? Shoot. Thank you. Before we get into that, a toast for us meeting again. As he declares it, he takes out a flask from inside his pockets. We're speechless. Sarah. Nope, can't say I heard of her before. She was the other girl who was with us yesterday. Well, I've never met her since yesterday then. Basically, the only people know are the customers of my shop and the regulars at the tavern. Is that so? I suppose she doesn't come to this part of town all too often. He does have a point, but did you say that it was a long time since she did say that it was a long time since she last had a meal at the tavern. Which means it's very rare for her to come here. Does this store, also use that power grid? You girls from a different era or something? Of course we're using the power grid. Apologies, we're rather behind on information about this place. This ain't just this place. There's not a single place on this entire island that doesn't make use of the grid. You've got your own issues to deal with, right? You're gonna need to look into that stuff, or else you're not gonna be able to follow the conversation. If you don't do your research beforehand, everyone's gonna give you the evil eye, got it? Thank you for the warning. Damn, how many times have we been warned about this already? Anyway, so about Sarah. She's apparently working with, what did you say? Zavitz? the Vitz Enterprise. She handles changing the filters on the grid. Wouldn't she come here every so often for that? Nope. And if she's with Zavitz, then all the more reason for her to not come here. How come? The man on this side of town doesn't come from Zavitz. Ours comes from Hiviz. Hiviz? That's right, we're the one and only rival of Zavitz. Instead of siphoning mana from the ground or mines from Zavitz, extracts it straight from the air and purifies it. From the air? The air here has no mana. We're in the outer pole, right? But the border between this place and the inner pole is just full of it. I don't really get all the details myself, but that's mana from the air. What's it, colored mana or something? See, colored mana isn't like purified mana that you get from the ground. You can't just use it as is. Purifying that mana and then distributing is what Hiviz does. Well, anyway, I don't know about their free time, but Zavite's employees aren't going to be coming here on company time, that's for sure. Then, do you know anything about a girl named Rune? Suddenly. Kritzvan freezes. The moment he heard the name, he acted just like the lady from the general store. Phew. Kritzvan took a large swig from his flask and breathed a small sigh. That's a pretty heavy name to bring out. So is Rune really that much of a problem child? Problem child? That's way too light. She was the devil's spawn. Another comparison to the devil. She took out my nephew's right eye, really. Words. Huh? What? What do you mean? Sorry, but I don't want to talk about this. And I want to spit on the grave of a kid who's kicked the bucket. No, what's the matter? I figured I shouldn't really stick my neck in where it doesn't belong, but you two did save my life and all. There's a man called Albus in Zavite's Enterprise. If there's anyone who can answer your question, then it's gotta be him. For the meantime, head to the tavern tomorrow. I'm sure you'll meet him there. Tomorrow. In an ostentatious boardroom, 4 men wearing suits were exchanging arguments. They were positioned distantly from each other, as if they all had specified seats, leaving empty seats between all of them. One man stood at the edge of the room, while the other 3 were seated. He had a gentle expression on his face as he argued with the others, with Sarah huddled close by him. Like I said, the original rule is that they must have 1 rest day, as well as proper compensation for their work. Please stop dragging this old topic back up. I know, but that wasn't the old rule. This entire discussion is pointless. It's already been ages since Sid's regulations were abolished. None of the other sisters have taken issue with it either. Sarah, what do you think about all of this? I apologize for my actions. See? You're the only one who's being selfish here, trying to make issue of it. Sarah, your actions here make me think you've somehow misunderstood your very reason to exist. You're the property of Zavite's Enterprise. You do understand that, right? Yes. I'm not saying that we simply let this entire incident slide. Just we need to reconsider who's responsible here. Good grief. Apples, just how many times do you want us to repeat ourselves? The point is, we don't even want to touch on the subject of the sisters altogether. You understand that, right? What's all this now? This was something we all decided on together. You're right. The go-ahead was given by each and every one of us. That is because on paper, the numbers all looked good, and most of the sisters are working well as minors. But the main reason why we allowed the project to continue is because Sid would take full responsibility for it. That was all in the contract, and you better not forget that. But we, the board of directors, decided that something happened to Sid. We did, all of us, decide that Rudo would shoulder the responsibility. He's the CEO of such a large corporation, and that position comes with obligations to match. Just how long are you gonna keep that attitude up, Grok feels. In terms of sheer workload, he's handling far more than Sid ever has. Just look at how many people have come to the meeting, and maybe you'll understand. It's sickening. This is why we keep warning you. Look, just look at the sad face on it. It just makes things even worse. I swear, why did Sid even use that expression? She's obviously doing this just to spite us. If there's a problem, fix it. Even better if we can just get rid of it altogether. Simple as that. You know why we can't do that, right? That's why we're here talking about it. Sooner or later, more problems like these were gonna bound to crop up. I'm sure we already knew that much. The way you talk is proof that you've lost sight of the real issues, and the only thing you care about is the numbers, the bottom line. Ha, morals, don't kid yourself. Numbers are everything. The bottom line is everything. This company isn't going to survive on charity. The numbers are what put food on your table, Albus. Calm down, you two. No need to get so worked up. Heck, I'd like you to explain to me why we have to waste our time on something like this. He makes a good point. While the arrangement is somewhat different from before, it is rather unfair that we continue to push all the responsibilities to Rudo. Gentlemen, I apologize for the delay. Rudo. Chief, thank goodness. Rudo, now that you're here, I need to get something off my chest. Every single one of the directors acknowledges your management skills. They're top-notch. We have no problems with your qualities as a leader. But look at the attendance for this meeting. Out of 12 directors, only 4 are here. Not a single person from Lab 9 except Albus has shown up. Vothal and the others have other matters to deal with. They would have been here otherwise. Except it's only the 4 of you from Lab 9 that just won't shut up about this whole issue. Most of us on the board of directors don't even want to concern themselves with this anymore. Honestly, all the trouble caused by this issue is nothing but creating unnecessary friction between us, and I want no part of it. I see now. The top 4 of Zavite's Enterprise spent nearly an hour debating, with absolutely no real results to show for it. Am I right? Why you? This incident notwithstanding, I'm sure everyone has personally felt the monetary benefits generated by the Sisters Project. Am I mistaken? Well, that is true. Sarah. Sir, I've already told you this. This silly compensatory pretend salary system has been annulled. Have you forgotten? No, I do remember. Rudo, we've already gone through this. Sid's condition was that the sisters are supposed to receive payment in cash or in any kind for their work rendered. The system allows them to choose either. In this case, as long as their on-site overseer gave their approval for the use of this element as her payment, then that still falls within the agreement. Sarah did just as she was told. I see. So basically you're saying that I'm simply trying to pin some kind of blame on Sarah, is that it? What? When I say compensation has been annulled, normally you would take that to mean that payment for your work has been scrapped, yes? The fact of the matter is that not a single sister has interpreted it to mean payment in cash is no longer allowed. There wasn't a single one that came asking for the conditions about payment in kind. I believe this is proof that the sisters, Sarah aside, have understood the intentions of the board of directors and myself. But also, I'd rather not bring this up in public. You aren't in the lab, Albus. Outside of Lab 9, at the very least, I'm your superior. You'll have to You'll have to respect that. I apologize. I'll keep that in mind from here on. Moving on. Regarding this incident with Sarah, this will be discussed in votation tomorrow. I believe this matter is heavy enough to merit discussion. Huh. Then that means this whole incident is your fault. However, everyone, you all seem to be making a very basic misunderstanding. Not once have I asked the board of directors about how to deal with the situation. All I've done is to sound the alarm. Perhaps some of you might have some kind of hidden agenda, or maybe it's simply a mistake on your part. I've given considerable thought regarding Sarah's actions. In any case, consider this act to be tantamount to treason against the company. Okay. Rudo. I simply wanted to hear your thoughts on the matter. For it to have turned into some chaotic blame game, I'm not sure what to think. The entire board of directors may leave. I've noted your intentions and will keep them in my mind. Sarah. Yes? Do you understand why I find a problem with the actions you took? Oh, boy. I do. So you do then? Then why don't you tell me, right here and now, what exactly is the problem? It's because I tried to take sentiment without getting permission first. Wrong. It isn't? You don't actually understand the problem then. But the issue at hand is that despite your understanding of the concept of the crime, you willingly committed the crime regardless. Sarah. Yes? I will contact you once the board of directors has reached a consensus. Until then, return to your usual duties. Work harder to make up for the time wasted here. Understood. You're not allowed to leave your quarters outside of your shift. Yes, sir. Now pay attention to what I'm about to tell you now. Your room will not be locked, nor will there be anyone monitoring you. You are free to obey or disobey my orders. You can just throw everything away and escape. You can even fight back and kill Albus and I if you so desire. Think hard about what exactly you want to do from now on. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? I do. Good. You may resume your duties. Yes, sir. One more thing. Your emotions are an eyesore. Stop showing them to us. Don't ever smile in front of me again. That's an order. Understood. Damn. I wonder what Hertzvon meant by that. I can't say either. Rune. She has quite a history. We may have sunk our teeth into something much, much larger than we expected. Well, there's nothing we can do but head to the tavern at the time Hertzvon gave us. Do you think we could head to the tavern before that and ask around? I don't see why not. Sorry, I just can't sit still like this. Alright, I understand. Let's head over and ask the people there a few questions. We may run into someone who knows this Albus person. Yeah. My goodness, it's this early in the day and this place is already bustling. But I think bustling is a good thing. Oh ladies, you're back! I'm so glad you've come back. You're like two beautiful flowers gracing this little tavern of ours. Huh? You remember us too? You have quite the memory. But of course, lovely ladies like you are such a rarity here. How could I ever forget? Hey, you all better listen up. We've just taken our last orders for now. Oh. We ain't taking any more new orders. Got it? Oh dear, sorry you two. Even though you've come all this way, looks like they're going to start prep for the dinner service. No, actually, we didn't come here for a meal. Oh. There's something we'd like to ask. Would you happen to know a person named Albus? Albus? You mean Albus Folster? Of course I do. He's one of our regulars here. Can you describe what he looks like? Well, he's a quiet, middle-aged looking gentleman. But he's got a real sharp mind. He's got a pretty high up position over at if I remember. He really doesn't come as often as he used to, but when he does, he sits on a table over there in the back to have his dinner. The waiter points out a specific table as he tells us. Alright, you have my gratitude for the information. Man, that guy. So that's how it is. So that personality of his was just an act? Real smooth operator getting two pretty girls? Damn. What is this man even thinking? Just to make it clear, it's nothing like what you imagine. I swear, we're only looking for someone. The side comments are totally unwarranted. Retona, your face is scaring me. Well then, what should we do now? Our schedules are completely open until tonight. Retona, look over there! Rune. Good afternoon, Miss Selphine and Miss Retona. My hair stands on end. Your face, it looks so lifeless. It's not like she has a lack of expression. It's as if there was no life in her in the first place. I can't explain it well. As if she's just a moving doll. It just feels eerie. Is she really alive? I've been looking for you two. I sincerely apologize for being unable to meet with you both at the appointed time. Rune's head seemed to be just hanging there, not even a single hint of emotion showing. Rune, what happens? This is the sediment that Master Rudo was trying to hand to you earlier today. Originally, I was supposed to have presented it to you myself. The higurashi stare. Stop! How dare. I would be more than delighted if you accepted it. Who cares about the stone? Just what happened to you? Just who is that Rudo anyway? Master Rudo is my owner. As she speaks, Rune smiles very slightly. Despite it being a smile, the way she does it without a trace of emotion, it's nothing but eerie. Owner, why are you treating yourself as an object? People aren't meant to be treated that way. I'm not a person, I'm a thing. He's a Rudo man. Stop! Y'all. Rene replies instantly, without a trace of hesitation in her voice. What in the world are you saying? Is that Rudo blackmailing you to do this? Master Rudo has done nothing wrong, nor is he blackmailing me with anything. I am willingly in the employ of Master Rudo, as I am willingly here, meeting with you both. What was that? It's as if a slight hint of emotion had returned to her. No way. No matter how I look at it, you couldn't possibly doing this of your own free will. M'lady. Come on, tell us please. We might be able to help you out here. We're friends, aren't we? I do not have the authorization to become friends with anyone. And my name is Sarah. I sincerely apologize for giving you both the incorrect name during our first encounter. Although inconvenient, I request that you refer to me by that name from here on. Well, I doubt we'll meet again after this. Sarah then bows once again after telling us that, and forms another artificial smile. No, that's just... artificial. Yes, that's the right word. It always bothered me since we first met, ever so often. She performed these strange, unnatural actions. Like every single movement of hers was calculated. All of her actions are artificial, manufactured. Like she was thinking of the proper response, the proper expression for each and every interaction. I must attend to other business now, so unless there is anything else, I bid you both a good day. Wait a second. Rune, no, Sarah, was it? Let me just say this much. No matter what you yourself think, Selphine and I consider you a friend. Sarah had started walking away from us until my statement stopped her. If you need us to help you, then we will do everything in our power. So let me ask you again. Are you being held against your will and being forced to work? Or is this all because you hold that man, Rudo, in such high regard? Perhaps she has her reasons, ones she can't disclose to others, or possibly ones that people won't understand. She's here of her own free will, supposedly. But as Selphine said, that couldn't possibly be true. However, people have the right to reject associating with others as well. If she insists that much, then we ourselves are limited on what we can do. If you no longer want us to get involved, then... Miss Ratona, she cut me off. I believe you are misunderstanding something. When a hammer is used, does it question its role as a tool? Does it curse its own destiny? I'm not being made to work against my will. What's more, I'll explain thoroughly so as to clear up any further misunderstandings. People are the ones who have rights, the ones who are given rights, and the ones who benefit from rights. For someone like me, who has no authority, I do not have the right to reject people, as you so say. Likewise, I do not have the right to hold Master Rudo in high regard. That is because I am an object, a thing. Sarah continued to speak as if she were mindlessly dictating. How could anyone possibly say something that sad, that tragic, without a trace of emotion? This girl is no longer the Rune that we met yesterday. Now, have a pleasant day. Just what could have happened? How could someone change so drastically? Selfine's eyes lost focus. Milady? I think I'm a little angry right now. Now that it's gotten this far, it makes me want to keep on meddling in this, even if she wants to hate us. Starts to hate us. Still, she just told us her stand on the matter. If you continue to get involved with her, all you may end up doing is getting her to despise you. It's not just that. Well, you did mention it before as well. Is she Rune or is she Sarah? Was her kind, cheerful behavior from yesterday all just an act? What I'm sure of is that I want to know the truth. But at the same time, I want to know more about this country and the Outer Pole just as much. I want to know if they really do practice slavery here, or if there's any other discrimination taking place. And I want to understand why I suddenly want to know about all of these things. Selphine, do you think we could accept any kind of discrimination? Bigotry, poverty, war. I'm sitting here like, after they did the special handshake and everything. Yeah. These are things that have been eradicated from Rugzinhide for the most part. When it comes to slavery, even if we understand the reasons for it, our mentality refuses to accept it, no matter what. That doesn't matter, Rotona. Even if we can't change anything, we have to first understand the situation, or else nothing will ever happen. Selphine's eyes were filled with the level of dignity I'd yet to see in her, as she gazed toward the direction that Rune had departed. Night. After Selphine had fallen asleep, I snuck away from the inn and headed for a certain place. I got a hold of some interesting information. From what I heard, there's a cemetery near the Monomine on the outskirts of town. It's not too far from where Selphine and I were carried to by the stray effect. About 10 or so minutes after making my way out of the forest, I came across something that looks like to be a cemetery. The place seemed to be fairly well maintained. None of it seemed to be in particular disrepair. A cemetery in the middle of a forested area on the dead of night. Awfully creepy indeed. The thick fog added to the unwanted sinister atmosphere of the situation. Well now. I pushed the gate open and take out the note that the innkeeper passed to me. Rune Zivitz. The note was Rune's name, written in their language. Now I just have to search the place from top to bottom to find an engraving that matches. At the very least, I can be sure as to whether or not Rune, the little sister, had actually moved on to the next world. 20 minutes have passed. This cemetery sure is large. Thanks to the fog, I can't tell how far I am from the entrance, but this is quite a large cemetery. Damn. What terrible timing. Just at a glance, it seems like I haven't even explored a third of the cemetery. Really, this cemetery is ludicrously large. Do all of Cadio City's deceased end up buried here? In any case, I can't have the weather turn even worse on me. Need to hurry up checking the area out. Ugh. Not even 5 minutes have passed and already the drizzle has turned into a downpour. The rain's penetrated my cloak and coat, hitting straight to my skin. Not a good idea to keep on looking around now. And as if I was looking for a place to shelter myself from the rain. Oop. Jump scare. I'm paralyzed. Are you searching for Mistress Rune's gravestone? I couldn't even speak. My hairs were all standing on end. I was keeping my guard up this whole time. I was prepared to cast Monocroft in case worst came to worst. And despite that, no, more importantly, she had no presence, just like when we'd first met. And on top of that, her eyes. This girl. Just What are you? Sarah's face remained expressionless as the rain battered against her relentlessly. It took everything in me just to keep my eyes open, but Sarah's eyes didn't even blink. You will not find Mrs. Rune's headstone here. Oh no, it's an actual higurashi stair this time. Shut up. Why? Are you Rune herself? Who could say? Who can say? You're not making any sense. This property area is under the Zavitz group of companies. Trespassing is not allowed. Mr. Tona, I hope you understand the situation you're in. She speaks softly, but firmly. Please, do not trouble Master Rudo or Zavitz Enterprise. Leave the city as soon as you can. Well then, if you will excuse me. And with those parting words, Rune disappeared into the forest. It might have just been me, but it felt like I saw loneliness creep into her expression for just a moment. Just who was that I encountered last night? And Rune doesn't have a gravestone? Why? Does that mean Sarah is Rune? No, the townsfolk all said that Rune had died. Damn it, the more I think about it, the less it makes sense. So all of that happened, huh? I see. I wish I could have been there too. Sylphie made her displeasure quite clear for me to hear as she spoke out loud. I wanted to have a good talk with Sarah too. My apologies, but it was already so late, and if you don't get enough sleep, the mana shock might. I really wanted to have a talk with Sarah too. Forgive me. I won't act on my own from now on. Please accept my apology. What should I do? Sylphie continues to glare right at me. Ugh. I don't expect her to be this upset. Alright then, I'll have you make up for this sometime, okay? Understood. You know, Ritona, I know I'm not really all that useful. Not at all. No, it's fine. I'm not trying to put myself down or anything. It's just a fact. I'm not as smart as you are, and I can't use Battlecraft either. And if something were to happen to you, I might end up just being a burden on you. But you know, it's times like these that I really have to be with you. What do you mean by that? Ritona, you're always putting yourself in danger just to protect me. Just telling you to stop isn't gonna help us either. If this was Ringson's hide, you would simply appoint someone else to take your place. But right now, it's just us two, in a place so far away it's like a different planet. We're travelers just trying to get back home. Your duty right now is to make sure I get back to Rugzenhide safe and sound, right? It is. But if something happened to you, there's no way I could possibly make my way back all by myself. So let's put the risk between us two, okay? So even if something happens, there's no hard feelings between either of us. If not, then I want us to be on equal footing. This is an order, but a request as your friend. I'm such a fool. Right now in this situation, the two of us need to act as one. So patently simple. I'm so sorry. I promise you, we're equals from here on. Right. Even though I said I held her opinion in high regard, I ended up treating her like a child. It feels as if a haze clouding up my mind has lifted. Now I'd like to propose something. By all means. See, I also want to try using Monocraft. What? Oh dear.